welcome to Blackfeather Guild. Before we go in and say hi to the cast and get started with the show, I wanted to talk very briefly about viewer actions and a little bit about sponsors. So first off, there's a number of ways that you can actually actively participate in the show through viewer actions. One of the easiest ways to do so is through retweeting the game tweet. You should see that somewhere in chat if it's not in there already. But you just click on that link and hit retweet, and for every 5 retweets that we get on that, it will add a bonus to the cast pool and the game master pool. Now, in most cases, that's going to be an extra d6 that they can add on to any roll. Basically, a great way to use that is if a player is almost meeting a DC, but they're just not quite there, they can grab one of those d6s from the cast pool, roll that, and then add that to their roll. Basically, is how that works. Same with the GM. So that's one of the easiest ways that you can participate that way. Another way is through guild coins. That's our Twitch channel points. If you look at the rainbow colored icon, it should have the Blackfeather Guild crest on it. It should be right below your Twitch chat box. If you click on that, it'll show you all the different things that you can get with those. The biggest one being plot points. Now, plot points, you can see an example right over here. They all work pretty much the same way. It's just a matter of how big of an impact they have. So for the example, when we've got 2 plot points, the player of your choice gets something moderately helpful or unhelpful. Enter any suggestions for the GM into chat, or you can have the GM come up with something entirely on their own. So just choose if you want it to be helpful or unhelpful to the party, and that's kind of how you can use them. You can throw in your own suggestions as well. How those work: 1 plot point is something trivially helpful or unhelpful. 2 is moderately, 3 is very, and 4 is very to the entire party. So if you want to do something to help the entire party or really throw a monkey wrench in their plans, 4 plot points will do that. So that's guild coins. And then finally, we've got donations. So if you want to help out with keeping the lights on in the place, so to speak, there's a number of ways that you can financially contribute. One of those being coffee.com/Raven or raven.rocks. You can see both of those examples down there at the bottom. Those are the addresses to do direct donations. You can also do Twitch subscriptions or bits. Those work the same way. And then finally, Patreon. We've got a Patreon, which you should see in chat here any second if it's not there already. And our Bard tier patrons and higher get credits towards viewer actions every month that they can use on any show that they would like. You just have to let us know in chat how you want to spend those, and then we'll hand those out. So some very cool stuff. Before we hop over to see the cast, one last thing to mention is a couple things on this chart here. We've already covered the D6 and the plot points, but the triple crits, what that means is you can gift auto critical successes. And you can, it's triple because you get 3. You can divvy those out however you'd like. You can do 2 to the cast, 1 to the game master, all of them to the game master, however you want to do it. So they work much like the D6s. The cast members just grab that when they're available and they really need them and use them. So it's pretty cool. And then finally, the last one, introduce an ally or enemy NPC. Just give us a brief description of what you want this character to look like, kind of their character concept and a name, and let us know if you want it to be an enemy or an ally to the party, and the GM will basically take that and run with it. So really cool ways that you can participate. Lastly, I just want to take a quick moment to mention our sponsors. If you look at the logos down below, that's who's sponsoring this episode, and we'll talk a little bit about that before we introduce everybody as well on the next scene. So yeah, check all this stuff out, and thank them for supporting us, and thank you for being here and watching. Let's go say hi to the cast. Hello, everybody. We are back for more Animus Absentis, and today we might possibly, could even, maybe, potentially, it's possible, actually go rescue Liam this time.
Hallelujah! That means we're
more...
absolutely not going to get to it. We'll see.
We still have to get from orbit to the front door, so there's still plenty of room for shenanigans and getting sidetracked, but maybe it's going to happen this time. Before we jump into all the action and everything, though, I'm going to give everybody a chance to introduce themselves, tell us a little bit about their character, and then we'll get going. So, starting at the top left, Jay, tell us a little bit about Sparky and yourself.
Hey, I'm Jay. I'm a writer, creative, and otherwise all-around person. And that's really all I've got today. That's all I've got in me. Sparky, on the other hand, is someone who's gone through a lot of evolution in the last couple seasons. They've gone from a paranoid wiener dog to paranoid, well, it's hard to describe. Paranoid other, maybe a ferret this time. Sparky is someone who used to be an assassin and is still trying to fight the instincts of being an assassin based on what they learned about themselves, but they're becoming more of a general kind of non-lethal. Let's say that they're becoming more non-lethal as time goes on. That's about as much as we know about Sparky.
Okay, cool. Also, we know that they appreciate bullet words.
Yes, bullet words and like gun things. Yeah, every now and then.
Next we've got Vanessa. Tell us a little bit about Annie and yourself.
Hi, I'm Vanessa. I am a traditional artist. I work primarily in pencil sketch and watercolor. And I play Annie, and she is, I guess we've kind of described her as space anonymous in her past life, pre-memory wipe. So I'm interested in seeing how that plays out in the future. But she is currently very angry with Daisy still. And I will continue to tell you this just because it hurts me every single time, so you all must hurt as well. Daisy broke this girl's heart. She is just absolutely brokenhearted over this situation. So she is not being a meanie just for the sake of it. She's very, very sad at the situation. But yeah, she's coming around. She'll she'll help Daisy with the mission. If not for Daisy, then for her little brother, whom she does not remember. So hopefully we'll get there today. Hopefully.
Meanwhile,
and also
I'm over
Jay,
here just... Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Jay, when you were describing Sparky and you said wiener dog, I wasn't expecting the dog part. I thought you were just gonna say a paranoid wiener. So yeah. Anyway, continue, Raven. What were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just gonna say, meanwhile I'm over here going like, breaking heart, that sounds like my least favorite thing to do.
Oh, naturally, of course.
Carl, that kills people.
What? I didn't know that. On that note, Alex, hi. Tell us a little bit about Seattle and yourself.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm a digital artist. You can find me around on Twitter and stuff. I'll plug that at the end of the show, so you gotta stick around and watch us. I'm playing Seattle, who is very much Seattle at this point and no longer Guy Lavoie, who life he formerly used to have, and he's trying to make sure that both of his daughters are all right now that they've been called out as both being his daughters, and trying to make sure that all of this goes okay with nobody dying, and also realizing that he probably needs to really apologize to Lagu.
Speaking of, normally we would have Riley with us, but she wasn't able to be here this evening, but she normally plays Lagu, who is a mercenary, like born and raised as a mercenary. Very cool character. They have like a bionic voice box type deal, which was defective, so they sound I'm not sure how to describe it, but it's kind of like the how I sort of imagine it is like Mike Tyson. You see Mike Tyson, and then he talks and it's absolutely not what you would expect by looking at Mike Tyson.
It's
It's
very
true.
much in the nose.
Yeah. So the voice definitely does not line up with what you would expect from seeing this character, and it's
Can I
amazing.
be honest? I forgot it was a voice box thing.
Me too.
I was like, oh, I thought that was just how they did the character.
Oh, it's great. You should definitely check out Riley's stuff, though. Her Twitter is right there. There we go. And she does a lot of crochet and knit stuff, including patterns and a whole bunch of information and tutorials and stuff. Definitely go check it out. Next, we've got Lisa. Tell us a little bit about Android and yourself.
I'm Lisa, and excuse my voice, I am very congested and sick today. But I play Android, and Android is the captain of the ship. She is a Black Ops murder droid. As far as she knows, one of a kind. Still learning about how to behave more human, slowly but surely, and is the mom of the ship.
Yep.
So sorry.
It was very evident when she came in last week and did the equivalent of like using all three names for Seattle and Lagu. That was great. And yeah, I play Daisy Thornwood, who is the Daisy that has been mentioned thus far, as well as all the other characters in the universe. But Daisy is the important NPC that has her own character sheet. Yeah, and as for who I am, I'm Raven. I'm the creative director for The Raven Evermore, which includes game design, like Fundamental RPG, which system this game uses, composite art, graphic art and design, voice acting, a whole bunch of other stuff. You can check out all about all of that at my Twitter, which is right below my face, or on Patreon, which is right there in chat. And then also, please check out our sponsors, which are also right there in chat: Grinding Coffee Company and Fundamental RPG. Before we jump into everything, we had a 500-bit donation from Michael. With actually, I should re-roll it because I didn't mention who's who first. He said to give d6s to whoever wins the dice roll. So I'm going to say that the cast is 1, I am 2, and we're going to roll a d2. I get them. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Michael. I will
Don't
have a lot of
laugh
fun
like
with
that.
those.
Why did you laugh in that manner, ma'am?
I could laugh like Klaus if you prefer.
Please don't. No. I'm frightened and I need to go home. Please don't.
I mean, first off, you are home.
Listen. Jay, listen.
So sorry. I always feel like Vanessa and Raven are in like a court trial, and and it's just constantly like, why did you laugh like that?
Mom and mom will stop arguing.
Yeah, seriously. Mom keeps accusing mom of killing her like unborn son. Like,
Never play Among Us. Ever.
oh no. Oh, but also maybe.
Yeah, like
No,
I
will watch you all play it, but I will not play.
I think collective we all need to play it.
I'm
I
so
will
bad
not
at
play it.
I
Maybe
don't-
perhaps can we
No,
play it in character though?
I have
Oh my god.
Yes. That would be amazing.
possibly.
In character
That
may
would-
not be as
I
bad.
could
yeah.
I could do that in character
Yeah.
Okay.
because then it's not me having to try to actually lie to people. 'cause
Or,
I don't lie very well.
okay. I bet we could probably swing that, Michael. So before we get too much more sidetracked, we left off. You were getting ready to go rescue Liam. Lagu and Seattle got into a fist fight. Android ran in, called them by their middle names, and threatened to shank them if they kept acting like children. Daisy and Sparky were talking about gun stuff, literally by saying things like, yes, gun stuff, bullet words, yes. But didn't manage to quite stay out of the trouble circle. But I think got the lesser of it.
I forgot about bullet words.
The plan was figured out that Annie is going to basically use Daisy as bait, saying that Daisy is that she captured Daisy and basically selling Daisy into sort of like some
Indentured
sort of weird
assassinitude.
Yeah,
It's slavery.
like that.
It's child slavery.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah, pretty much. And Daisy has carefully hidden certain technology in places that are difficult to detect, so that once in there, she can bring down the security system. And the plan is she brings down the security system, the crew bursts in, rescues Liam, which is Annie's little brother, and Daisy, and then they get out of there. Other things that happened up to this point, Rip Rose, the sort of arch nemesis of the party right now, was on the ship, caused some issues, led them all on a wild goose chase, and then just jumped off the ship in an environmental suit. No idea where he is. The characters don't even know that he left the ship. So that's fun.
We technically can't confirm that he was on the ship.
It's true.
Technically,
You know somebody was on the ship, but not sure if that it was Rip. Oh my God, Jay. Sorry, something in Zoom chat. That's great. So yeah, can't confirm if Rip was on the ship or if he has actually left, but everything seems to be fine. But there is some concern that the cartel might know you're coming, but unable to confirm that either. Fast forwarding a little bit, you're in orbit around the planet where you need to go. 5,000 guild coins spent for one plot point. I'll just use these to have something for Annie in a very trivial and non-important way. It's fine. Is there anything that you would like in particular?
It's just an aesthetic thing. It's fine.
Okay.
You guys will see. I'll show you what it is. It's just but it's not. It's like very trivial. It's just to have it in her bedroom. It's purely an aesthetic thing.
Okay.
So it's not going to. It's not like a weapon or anything that requires large sums of points. So you'll see.
Oh, that's totally fine. I just wasn't sure if that was something like you needed me to come up with, or if you got something that's cool. Just let me know when it becomes relevant.
We good.
All right.
You'll know.
All right, cool. Okay. So yeah, you're in orbit around the planet. You haven't been harassed about it yet. Nobody's called you up and said like, "Why are you orbiting our planet?" You seem to just be assumed to be a supply ship for now. And you have all of your gear that you bought. The shuttle has upgrades for maneuverability and shields, but you weren't able to get the speed upgrade, so that's still being delivered to the space station. But you do have the shields and the maneuverability upgrades, and those are installed, along with some crude and rude art on the side of the shuttle. So, what do you all want to do? How do you all approach this from here?
Android is going to basically take out her braid, make her hair not look as nice, and put a blank expression on her face so that if anybody like comms us and sees me, I don't look like an android, like an advanced android. I look like a very basic piloting bot at best.
Okay. Yes, Alex?
Seattle's just holding up his hand, waiting for somebody to ask what he's doing.
Okay. Does anybody ask Seattle what he's doing?
Seattle, what is it?
What am I doing?
What do you wish to do to prepare for this mission?
I want to build a bomb.
Well, then I recommend you build a bomb.
Seattle goes off to the engineering room.
Oh, goodness.
I'm gonna say Sparky wasn't in the room for that.
Yeah, Daisy wasn't either.
Yeah.
So, Alex, give me a mechanical engineering roll and a tech engineering roll.
If we hear a soft whomp, then we know what happened.
I doubt it's going to be soft.
Well,
I'm using one of our auto crits.
it's not a bad idea, actually.
I
If
mean,
you're really sold on this, I will, yeah.
Oh, I am making a bomb, Raven.
do you want to roll first? See if you even need to use the crit?
I will roll, but with the intention of using the crit.
Okay.
I'm just announcing that ahead of time, just so you can't say, well, you rolled for it, you can't use the crit now.
No, crits are there to use at any point. If you
Okay, I wasn't sure, because I remember there used to be a rule with them.
It was
first?
with the rerolls versus the rolling with advantage.
Gotcha, sorry about that.
No worries. I was like,
I assumed the same
seasons
thing.
ago.
Yeah.
It's been
Yeah,
a hot minute.
It's been a hot day.
Yeah,
Right.
crits you can use at any point, whenever you.
So
want
that
to
would be my mechanical engineering, and I get to use my my tools for engineering.
Yeah.
Can I add my training for tech weaponry?
No, because those are for attacks versus skills.
Dang, too bad. Okay, just checking.
It was a good try. A good question to ask, but no.
18 plus 7.
18
Plus 7.
Okay. That would actually make a decent bomb, but a crit would make it whatever type of bomb you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the crit.
Okay. What I guess the technical term would be yield, but how big do you want this boom? Put it that way.
How boomy you want it?
Yeah.
Trying to decide. So we have
Yeah.
a kind of a general scan of the area, right?
Yeah. Do you want it like
With what Seth built?
Rudy Tooty Little Boomy or like Rudy Tooty Oh My God?
Rudy Tooty Little Boomy. Oh my god.
I want an explodey whammy. Where's my generator?
Okay.
Where's
yeah,
my
you know
power
what?
gone? Like that's
you
the
do-
sort of bomb he wants to make. He wants to make an EMP bomb.
An EMP, okay. That's pretty good. With a crit, you can make as big of an EMP as you want.
Great.
It can cover the whole compound, or it can, because. So you're looking at 11, so 16. I'm just gonna do some quick math here. See what your maximum is on a crit. 16 plus. You said you had a plus 6 and with your tools.
Plus
Is that right?
7.
Plus 7.
So I rolled an 8. Sorry, I have a plus. Sorry, my what was that with? Sorry, my mechanical engineering is 16, and my tool profession is 7.
Okay. So your max score with a nat 20 is 53, which is just short of extraordinary, which is described as Olympic level feats, tasks that would require years of dedicated training or study as well as a natural affinity. This level is rare in the world.
Can I roll a d6?
I'm going to give you the 55 because it's a nat 20 and you used a crit, so you don't have to roll a d6 on top of that. Yeah, so that's the level. So how big do you want this EMP to be?
At this point, Seattle is going to message the rest of the team of how big do you want them to not have power?
So long as it does not reach that I do not have power.
I can tell you how far away to be. I can do the city surrounding the compound and the compound.
I would say just the compound at most.
So, okay. It'll be
Alright.
the size of the compound.
And
Here's the fun part.
yeah,
Remember how I said you needed a mechanical engineering and a tech engineering? You've built the bomb, now you've got to build the detonator. Which is the tech engineering.
well,
Was this the first you were telling us that you built a bomb? Like the whole crew?
yep.
Sparky would message back, do you need a hand? With like 12 exclamation or 12 question marks.
Already built the bomb.
Sparky sends the text again.
Daisy sends a text saying, "What did I tell you about building bombs without supervision?"
I asked the captain. She said yes.
Alright. So roll tech engineering.
Well, thank goodness we still have 2 crits left if I need them.
Yes.
I think we'll need them later.
I'm trying not to use them.
Because I would laugh my ass off if you set off with that
Besides,
EMP
I still
on
get to
the
use
ship.
my tools profession in engineering
It's true.
bonus.
You have a
I'd
5%
rather-
of something horrible happening and you having to use a crit.
Oh,
I'd rather
fine.
you set it off
So-
while we're in space and not
Alright.
in orbit.
that
not
was
in
a
the-
20.
in that
So 28
Yeah.
plus 7.
You're good. You make a detonator. You can do remote detonation up to a mile away. Or you can set it up to be a timer if you'd like.
Well, that's what we're gonna have to discuss and to figure out. And so that's what it's like. Do we want to do remote detonation or timer?
Remote.
If you did remote, you could leave it with the captain.
It's true. And the detonator has both options. So, like, if you needed to set a timer in the heat of the moment, you have that option. It's
Yeah.
got both, not just one or the other.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, it was like detonator will be with captain. Do not touch the bomb. It's in a case right now, but we basically need to figure out a way to get it, to drop it there, probably when we fly down.
Okay.
Well, or Daisy could put it in.
I'm assuming it's like at least this big.
Oh yeah, it's like the size of a big briefcase. Like take
okay.
2 standard sized briefcases, maybe even 3, and push them together. That's how big
Gotcha.
this thing is. For it to be that big of a blast, it's got to be a big apparatus.
What are you telling me? It's the future, but there's still size requirements for bombs?
Especially electromagnetics.
Yeah, I mean, all said and done, because you got a 55, it's a pretty compact bomb for what it does. But yeah, it's hefty, but it can still be carried by one person.
Yeah, human portable. Okay.
So entirely up to you. Ooh. Thank you so much for that $3 donation, Michael. A small wind-up frog is seen hopping by and does not seem to stop hopping around no matter what. Okay. Hey, Annie.
What have I done? You guys, you guys love frogs.
You sent
Roll
the frog
sight for me.
emoji back.
Annie roll sight?
Yep.
Right. I don't have a very good sight modifier, so let's see. 17.
Okay. As you're in your room, you hear this just like tink, 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 tink noise right outside of your door. When you open it up, you see this little wind-up frog that's just hopping around, and it's like the Energizer Bunny. It just doesn't stop ever. It's still just hopping around, back and forth.
She picks it up,
Its
and
legs
kind
are
of
just
looks.
kicking into the air.
Yeah. And she looks up and down the hall to see if there's anybody there who had actually set it off, if the culprit is still there. But when she does not see anybody, she puts it back down and lets it continue hopping in the hallway.
Okay. Yeah, it just keeps hopping around. It'll bang into a crew quarter door and then eventually turn around and hop down the hall. Just keeps kind of going back and forth. All right. So we know what Seattle's been up to. How's everybody else getting ready for this?
Do we have like an actual solid idea of like step 1, step 2, step 3?
We barely had a step 1. If we're being honest.
Step 1, pretend to sell out Daisy. Step 2, wait for Daisy to bring down the security system. Step 3,
Question mark, question mark, question mark?
question mark, pretty much.
Try not to die.
Yeah.
Step 4, profit.
Yeah.
At some point now, there's a bomb.
Mm-hmm. Yep, so that's step 5, probably. Or step 1, depending.
Michael says the plan is we do not have a plan. Absolutely.
100%. Listen,
Very accurate.
Sparky threw a plan together, like whip snap, and then everyone was like, okay, well, what do we do in the plan? I'm like, I don't know.
Sparky's over here like, all right, so we need a plan. And everybody's like, yes, that is the plan, that we need a
That's
plan.
good. I like it. That's a good step.
Maybe this will help. So Daisy has put on her most, like, ripped up, torn, dirty, just ratty looking clothes. Has put her hair up, has smeared grease on her face to just look like some sort of street urchin. Seth has put on his body armor and found
Oh,
a
that's
couple
right.
helmets.
I forgot because we
cargo
were going
bay.
to need a, yeah.
Yeah, that look
Right.
just like generic security helmets with full face covering, and has found some sort of rifle or submachine gun in the cargo bay that would look like a bodyguard weapon, and that's how he's prepared. So the two of them are ready
Why do
to
I
go.
feel so nervous? Like I feel like we're about to do something really stupid. I'm anxious, you guys.
You're just taking on a cartel stronghold to try to rescue somebody.
Vanessa,
from it.
you felt that way when we first did our first heist.
I mean, and look how well that went.
It went really well. They still don't know they were stolen from.
Which heist was this?
I'm talking about the art heist that we did.
Where you overdosed on morphine.
Where you overdosed on morphine.
I wasn't there for that heist. That's why. I was like, I wasn't part of the successful heist. What?
Yes, you were. Your character overdosed on morphine.
We weren't even part of the heist. We barely were a distraction.
We were a really good distraction.
Oh my sweet
Mom
Lord.
had to come get us.
To put it into perspective,
Annie-
you're currently trying to rescue Princess Leia from the detention level. Like that's kind of the scale of what you're attempting.
With a homemade bomb and a suppository.
Annie is also getting changed in her room.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Sparky would have Seth guide them back and like find more of that.
Okay. Yep. Seth helps you get the same type of stuff put on. What is Annie changing into?
She wants, I don't want to tell you until everybody's in the room and we're ready to go, because she has her own plan.
Okay, we'll come back to Annie so she can make her entrance.
Yes. You know me, Raven. Go big or go home. I'm just a dramatic bitch. I gotta have my moment, you know?
That's totally fair. Android, what are you doing?
Adjusting my voice modulation to make myself literally sound like a computer.
Awesome. Do a tech engineering roll for that.
Would a natural one make her sound perfectly human?
I just start speaking in soliloquies.
Or like Lagu, depending.
Oh god. Tech
Well, that
engineering,
is
you said?
perfectly human.
Yeah.
Nat 20, 32.
If you would like, you can sound like Gladys.
Hell yeah!
Like,
Yeah.
whatever you want to sound like is cool, but like I think that would be perfect. Okay, so now you sound like Gladys.
And my hair's down and I look all disheveled and weird.
Perfect. Yeah, you look the least like yourself that you possibly can at the moment. Lagu is I'm trying to remember what Riley said you wanted Lagu to do. Lagu's not going down. Lagu's sort of like the backup. So if things really go to crap, Lagu will run in. So Lagu's probably like staying on the bridge, monitoring scanners and cameras and radios and stuff like that. So I think everybody has prepped, unless there's anything somebody else wanted to do before Annie's big entrance. Yes, Seattle.
I'll tell y'all what Seattle looks. What Seattle shows up in when after Annie says what she's wearing.
All right. So none of the characters hear this, but the audience probably hears like AC/DC's Back in Black or Thunderstruck or something like that playing. As Annie
I feel like it'd be
comes in
Billie
wearing
Eilish
what?
that guy.
Wouldn't it be LaGrange by ZZ
That would
Top?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yes, I forgot. This is the Lagrange.
This
Yes,
is
it's
the Lagrange.
Yes, that is what is playing on our imaginary television. We're watching this through. So as that's going on, what's Annie walking in with?
So Annie wants to go down there with Daisy. She's already established that she doesn't trust Daisy to get in through the door by herself. So naturally she has to look as little like Annie as possible. So Annie walks in and she is wearing like black PVC pants, just like skin tight. And you know those like it's almost like the fishnet kind of pattern, but you see it sometimes people wear it under pants or under shorts or whatever, so the waist comes up a little higher, so it sits on the waist rather than the hips. It's kind of like that kind of pattern. She's wearing like a black bralette and then a sheer crop top over it, so it's got like a floral pattern. But most notably is like she's wearing a platinum blonde wig in like a long bob, completely 100% different from the brown and pink that she usually has, and much shorter. It's almost like she's cut all of her hair off, just absolutely different. And then she's wearing boots, of course. She would have worn high heels, but probably not best to run through a compound in high heels.
That's fair. As you enter in, like you can see there's Daisy and Seth standing side by side, and both are just wide-eyed with like jaw hanging open for a minute there, and then Daisy kind of comes to you a little bit sooner, looks at Seth, and just annoyingly like slaps the bottom of his chin up.
Love that.
So that's their reaction. What's everybody else's reaction to this?
Sparky is wearing the full like outfit. They had the helmet on, and then they take it off, and they're like, "Did you cut your hair?"
All Annie does is like wink at Sparky. She's playing. She's hamming it up like she's playing the part. This is not Annie. This is whoever has caught Daisy and is bringing her in to the cartel. Like yeah.
Gotcha.
She's going the full mile.
It's amazing. What's Seattle's reaction to this? I'm curious.
Well, Seattle comes in. He's managed to find a rather greasy set of overalls somewhere in the back end of one of his eye holes. He's wearing that. Noticeably, he has no beard. His eyebrows and his hair are hot pink.
What have you done?
Seattle looks confused at Annie, points at her pants, and signs, "Are those mine?"
Annie looks really offended. She's like, no, of course not. She signs back to him.
You sure? Because those look like my pants.
I'm absolutely sure. And also, I'm taller than you, so if they were yours, they would be Flood's.
You fit them out well.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Is there anything else anyone else would like to do before you fly down to the planet?
Captain would look at Annie and say, Sparky, do not worry. It is a wig. It is real material like mine is, though.
So that was a good thing, and then also the thing you said after that was concerning.
My hair is 100% natural material. It needs to be cared for in a similar fashion. My hair, for lack of a better term, is human.
Why though? Don't answer that. Please don't answer that.
It is sewn to my scalp.
Okay. So going? Are we good?
Lighten up, Spark. Human beings wear fake human hair wigs all the time. It's not that weird.
It's sewn to her scalp. It's a little weird.
I
Well,
mean,
that's how dolls are
technically,
made.
A Seattle size, not really. That's how you have to have it anchored well enough. She can be held up by her hair.
And I would not feel pain.
Exactly. Really useful.
And Sparky just starts just totally disengages from the conversation, just heads down towards the shuttle.
Annie casts like a really weird glance at Seattle, but does not comment.
Daisy, kind of does the exact same thing a few seconds after Sparky. Seth is oblivious to what's going on. Alright, so who's the away team?
Seth is having a hard time looking at anyone but Annie right now, honestly.
Yeah. Daisy probably keeps, elbowing him in the side and not in the, hey kind of way, like the fuck off kind of way.
Bro, stop looking at your buddy's sister.
Yep.
Bro, she held you at gunpoint.
Yeah.
Bro, you threatened to shoot her in the forehead.
Bro, her dad stripped you naked after capturing you.
This crew is so weird.
Here we
I
are.
love them all.
Who's on the away team? Daisy and Seth are already on the shuttle. Sparky's on the shuttle.
Annie.
Lagu. Okay, Annie's on the shuttle. Lagu is on the bridge. Android is on the bridge.
On the bridge. Yep.
So I guess, blah. So, Seattle will be going to pilot.
Okay. So on the shuttle for the away mission, we have Seattle.
Do you remember
Seattle,
do you remember the name of the shuttle?
Oh, I do.
The Tabernacle.
Tabernacle.
Eh ben, tabernacle.
Oui, oui.
All right, so we've got Seattle piloting, Sparky, Annie, Daisy, and Seth. As you get ready to disembark, as soon as you start flying towards the planet, you're going to be hailed by the sort of ground/flight control section of the compound, and they ask you to state your business.
Are they hailing me or are they hailing the shuttle?
They are hailing the shuttle.
Can they rewire it to me?
Absolutely. If Seattle
they
chooses
want.
to do so.
Yeah.
Seattle's going to gesture to Annie to see if she wants to answer it. Otherwise, it's going up to the captain.
I mean, we can give it the old college try.
Oh, God.
You're in charge of this mission, Annie.
Absolutely. Annie is nonplussed by this. Vanessa is the other type of nonplussed by this. Annie does accept the call.
Okay. The very matter of fact, just sort of gruff voice on the other end asks you to state your business. why are you flying down towards this compound?
Is it just an audio call or is it visual as well?
This is probably just audio.
Just audio. Any kind of she tries to replicate that matter of fact kind of tone to her voice. But if you could imagine the way a voice would sound if you're visualizing eyelashes being that's probably what she tries to throw in there. And she just said, yeah, she just says, well, we're making a drop off.
Drop off. All right. Please state the department you're delivering to, the nature of your cargo, and the contact in that department.
Listen, I don't exactly know what department you would like this cargo to go to per se. It's more so of the human variety.
Oh, so you've got a kid that's going to be trained here? Is that what's going on?
You got it.
Okay. Yeah. See, we're all. Nobody's making pretense here. You can just say that you're here to deliver a child that you've kidnapped. It's fine.
Well, now where would the fun be in that?
I don't get paid to have fun. So I'm gonna have you go ahead and park your shuttle in the main shuttle bay. It's more of a pad than a bay, really. It's out by the front. Look for the giant towers with the big guns on top. You can't miss them. Just land over there. Go to the front tower. Give them your reference number, which is PTY 123K79.2.
I don't have a pen, Raven.
Got it. Don't worry. Sparky's on it.
I frantically looked for a pen. It's fine. I don't have one.
You're on a computer.
Jay, listen.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I was
Please don't
panicked.
test me.
I didn't think of that.
He just reads it off matter-of-factly like that. So be sure to give him that reference number. If you don't have a reference number, there's a chance that they'll either shoot you or try to arrest you, so just make sure you have that. Yeah, once you park, I'm going to go ahead and send over the okay for you to park. Once you park, you want to give that number to the people at the gate. Now, the big guns are going to point at you. Don't worry about that. That's just normal procedure. You can talk to them, give them the reference number. They should let you in, and we'll get the right person over here. Now, do you have a contact that you've talked to? Have you already negotiated your rate, or are we doing that all here?
We'll do that all here.
Great. Glad I'm not in that department. And you hear like a pen being pulled off of a clipboard and some scribbling noises. Just a noise. And he goes, all right, well, we'll see you when you land. And then hangs up.
Yeah, no, Annie's kind of that like upbeat kind of perkiness to her voice. She just turns that off. She's done with that. No need for it now.
All right. So yeah, you're free to land. Right after you land, Android. The ship does get a hail as well from you're able to see on the scanners. It's like a flight wing of fighter ships. Looks like they're there's a term for it, an acronym that sounds really cool that I can't think of at the moment. But they're patrolling around the planet, and they do hail you and ask you why you're in orbit.
Dropping off shuttle acquisition.
You hear a radio, and it's like that crackly, walkie-talkie style radio kind of sound coming from the transmission. You go, I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Dropping off shuttle acquisition.
And you hear like some muffled voices talking back and forth to each other. Shuttle acquisition. Are you delivering the spare shuttle?
The shuttle has departed from the main ship to deliver human acquisition.
I'm sorry, I'm still not following.
The shuttle has left the main ship to deliver the human acquisition.
Okay, hold please. Stand by.
Press 2 for Spanish.
So these three ships just come up and they're basically like in formation with you, one on either side and one behind you. And a few minutes later, you probably during these few minutes might notice that the one behind you has like targeted their weapons on the engine. And the other two have like moved away a little bit. But nobody fires or anything. They come back a few minutes later and go, okay, talk to ground control. I think I understand what's going on. Sorry for the miscommunication. Just stay in orbit and don't do anything weird and you'll be fine. And they hang up and the ships move away.
Darn, I was going to troll them more. Okay.
Oh, you can absolutely respond. There is
Understood. Connecting to customer service representative.
I'm sorry, what?
Hold music is going to start playing.
You hear like two muffled voices as one's talking to the other. Did I reach a recording? Oh, I can't tell if this is like a live conversation or a pre-recorded
Please
message.
stay on the line. Your call is important to us.
Your call will be recorded for quality assurance.
Your place in the call queue is 99. Please remain on the line.
Damn it. They stay on the line for about 30 seconds and then hang up. Alright. So, managed to land the shuttle. And as soon as you get out of the shuttle, you can see there's these big giant guns on top of these two towers, which are on either side of the main gate to the compound. And it's like in movies where there's like a video camera on a hinge that immediately starts following you. That's what these giant guns are doing as you walk off the shuttle. Who all is stepping out of the shuttle?
Sparky would be going out in flank with Seth around Annie.
Okay.
Annie waits for them to disembark first, so that one of them can like she holds out a hand as if, you know, she's the queen. Take my hand, help me off the shuttle.
Seth is a little overeager to do so.
I was gonna say Sparky's gonna let Seth do that and is like taking in the sights.
Annie kind of puts like this smug you know, a calmness on her face, but her eyes dart to Seth, you know, encased in this helmet, and her eyes tighten just slightly for just a moment, and then she goes about her business and like takes her hand back.
You can hear the anxious, nervous smile on Seth's face behind this helmet. As you step out, Daisy steps out behind you, elbows Sparky in the stomach, not hard enough to hurt, but enough to get your attention, and then tries to bolt out of the shuttle. She gets about 6 feet before one of the guns shoots right in front of her, and she stops and waits for you to catch up.
Yeah,
As
Sparky runs up, behind her.
As you catch up, she just whispers to you, like, had to make it look convincing.
Saying that, Sparky basically like grabs her by the cuff and drags her backwards a bit and is like, just making it look convincing.
When they both get back within like speaking distance to Annie, she just rolls her eyes and kind of like scoffs. And she looks at Daisy and she's like, no, don't you think that was just one of the stupidest things that you could have possibly done in a place like this?
And Daisy looks up at you and goes, if I was a street urchin that'd been kidnapped and was being, brought to a place like this, I'd be doing some pretty stupid shit.
Annie kind of lowers her voice a little bit and she's like, no, you fucking fool. I'm making it look convincing.
Right. And Daisy just like starts flailing and trying to get away, quote unquote.
Annie takes the pistol that she had in her pants pocket, and takes it and just like pokes Daisy in the back with it.
Daisy calms down and just kind of mutters under her breath, like, all right, I think that's enough. And just starts walking indignantly.
Annie like spins the gun on her finger, Rudy Tooty point and shooty style, and then slides it back into her waistband.
Oh my god. I'm gonna need a nimbleness check for that.
Yeah, sure. Raven, why couldn't you just let me have it? Now you're gonna make her look like a fool? Really? That's fine. It's a 21.
Nice.
Yeah, you're fine.
For once. I have a plus
Sparky,
11 in my nimbleness, so.
Sparky gets Seth's attention and like kind of does a motion to start like flanking Daisy as she's going up.
Okay.
Also,
like, keep the gun
Android is going to
straight.
send a message to Seattle that there is a large. Like, are the ships still looking at me?
No, they've left.
Oh, okay.
They're still on your sensors, but they're
But
not
they're
like,
not
flanking.
Okay.
They're not escorting you anymore.
I'm still going to send a message that's like, hey, they know we're up here too.
Okay. Yeah, and then you're able to get up to the entrance to the compound. The guns are still pointed at you, and there's like a little, a booth like you'd see at events or like at a military base or something like that, where it's got like a little cutout at the bottom where you can talk through the glass and hand stuff back and forth, but for the most part it's completely closed off. And there's a disinterested looking guy leaning back in an office chair just beyond that little window. And he's flipping through what looks like a comic book.
Perhaps we might have more luck than we thought. Let's just distract them all with comic books. Knock on wood.
Oh, is that first issue? Wow.
So yeah, doesn't really pay any attention to you as you walk up.
Annie puts her hand out and like taps her fingernails on the booth.
Just sort of does like the, he's still looking at the book, but lifts his eyes up a little bit to glance at you, and just goes, "Yeah, what do you want?"
I'm trying to decide how obnoxious I want Annie to be.
You have full carte blanche, friend.
She's not gonna come off too heavy yet. So she kind of puts a smile on her face and she says, "Well, we were told to come here for a drop off."
All right. And he folds the comic book and sets it carefully down on the counter, and then grabs a clipboard much less carefully and starts flipping through pages. Not carefully at all. There's a lot of rattling paper sounds. It's like, I don't see on the schedule. Did they give you a reference number?
Yes. Now, Annie would have remembered the reference number, but I know that it started out with PTY, and then there was a 1, 2, 3, and then perhaps the letter K, and I know that there was definitely a .2 at the end.
That's almost all of it.
779.2, maybe?
That is correct.
Yep, you got it.
I caught the tail end of the captioner.
Oh my
So
god.
I knew like the first 6. And then the captioner gave me like the last 3.
Oh my god.
That's amazing.
So there you go. PTY 123 K79.2.
Perfect. He types that into a computer right there next to him, and he goes, "Oh, okay. I'm assuming this is what you're dropping off." He kind of looks Daisy up and down for a second, goes, "Oh, shame. I'll let you in." He hits a button, and these giant doors open up, and the guns stop pointing at you, and you're allowed to enter the compound.
While he's still looking, Annie just gives a wink before she moves on.
Okay. He completely is disinterested. Goes back to his comic book. But the 4 of you are now inside the compound. As soon as you step inside, those big heavy doors quickly slide shut again. And you can see it's laid out much the way that Seth described. Sparky, I imagine if you concentrate, you could even picture it all as mashed potatoes. And you know where everything is. For the most part, and the building and room that they talked about where you'd probably be meeting somebody to negotiate things is just ahead and to your right, whereas the barracks, if you will, where they're keeping everybody, where Seth described being housed with Liam, is further distance, not all the way to the other end of the compound, but about halfway in, ahead and to your left. There are various other buildings between you and there that do different things. There's there's a training ground, a gym, probably a cafeteria, some soldier barracks for the actual cartel people, offices and that sort of thing are just sort of scattered around. So you're expected to go to the room where the negotiations happen, but nobody is forcing you to go there at this point. Also, where is the EMP?
So Seattle, who's still back at the shuttle, has basically been doing the shuffle thing that, the engineer tends to do when waiting for the people while they're doing stuff, checking up on the outside, moving things in and out to do a couple of patchworks and stuff. Okay. Good engineering stuff.
Okay.
Can we have a quick flashback of us planning how we're gonna do the bomb thing?
So
I have no idea. I'm making this up as I go along. I was hoping somebody else knew what they were doing.
My brain did a thing where it was like, hey, you could do this. And then my whole body was like, absolutely don't do that. So I think I'm gonna have to suggest it because it might be crazy enough for us to pull it off.
Okay. What's your suggestion? And yes, you could have mentioned this before leaving the shuttle. That's fine.
No.
I was saying flashback to back on the ship.
Yeah. Of us actually thinking this.
Planning this.
Well, no, see,
just for this portion, but go ahead.
I feel like Annie would have been struck the same way I was when she sees the hallway and the vast expanse of unguarded hall. And she
an open compound too. I don't know if I clarified that. So
it's like one big yard, kind of.
Yeah. It's like a little city surrounded by a giant wall.
You remember when we did our heist? And Annie and Lagu were in a room. And suddenly Lagu decided to make a run for it.
Yeah.
Annie thinks to herself, can we get away with the same thing twice?
Oh my god. You want to Benny Hill. You want to Benny Hill the compound.
You know, it might actually work, especially with the EMP.
That's what I was
As soon
thinking.
as you want out, you let because Guy can basically go in and take the shuttle offline before setting off the EMP, which will save it from a lot of the damage.
Here's my concern, and this is like both Sparky and I thinking the same thing. My concern is that the heist we pulled off was on some soft, rich idiot, whereas this is the
absolutely.
cartel.
Yes. So I'll just fly this one by you guys first because
please.
Annie. So the way I mentally imagine this is time has slowed down and Annie's in the middle of a step. You know, like they're all like halfway through the walking motion. My thought was that. So how long is the EMP going to? How skilled do you figure? This is probably not asking Raven, but you guys, because Raven definitely won't tell us. How long you figure we have once the EMP is set off for them to get things back online?
Can I roll an education on that? Because I've been studying the cartel.
Absolutely.
To see how long it might take them.
This is absolutely something that you could possibly know, or at least have a good educated guess on.
23.
23. With your education, what you've sort of relearned through your research, critical systems are probably shielded in the compound. So it absolutely will cause confusion and some chaos for a while. But expect some security measures to still be online.
Okay.
It definitely won't be like we can just waltz in here, grab whatever we want, and leave.
Right.
But it will be significantly easier with that. And figure about, depending on how well they're trained here, anywhere from 60 seconds to 5 minutes before they get organized again and start looking for what the heck did this.
Okay. So I'd relay that. Like, I think they probably like 5 minutes max before they get their shit together, and it's not going to knock everything out. It's like it'll knock some stuff out, but not probably not the big stuff, depending.
And based on the mashed potato map now seen in full scale, if Liam is perhaps, if we're lucky, in the spot that you said is like halfway through the compound. What, like in minutes distance, what are we looking at here if we run?
If you run, it might take you 2 minutes to get there. That's like to get there and get into that room, not just get to the building.
Here's a crazy idea. Why don't we have Seattle go like high up with the bomb, and then maybe like drop the bomb from high up as opposed to like a low swoop, because he might get tagged by the guns, and then just remote detonate it before it hits the ground. Is that too crazy? I mean, I know Seattle's in because it's a bomb plan, but
say that again. My brain is fried.
That's
and I'm
all good. So instead of Seattle coming in, because we didn't really plan how we wanted to get the bomb in, but I think it was like a low swoop in. Instead, we have Seattle go up really high so that he doesn't get tagged by the bomb or by the guns in the compound, and then drop the bomb and give ourselves enough time to like detonate it over the compound.
I thought we were letting Daisy get in fully first.
Well, but like once we like need an escape, because then if you do that, you might be able to like chase the bomb down and pick us up. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, as long as I keep a mile away from the bomb, I'll be okay.
Yeah.
So the plan that is formulating in Annie's head as they are slow walking, is that Daisy makes a run for it. Annie makes a show of being like, hey, you fools, go after her, tripping Sparky up so that they trip into Seth, allowing Daisy to get a head start, and then immediately sending a comm to Seattle to set off the EMP.
A little bit of bebop and rocksteady action there. I like it.
Yeah, so that I'm assuming things like closed circuit cameras would be hit by
I
that.
realized you're quite literally channeling Shredder.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I
It's-
just
it's
realized
spot
that's
on.
what oh my god, it just like clicked. It was like,
Don't know who that is, but sure.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the villain.
Oh.
You got,
There
you
you
got a
go.
bit of a Shredder vibe, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
that's the plan that Annie is literally just about to do, unless you fools tell me otherwise.
Did anybody tell Daisy about this plan?
Well, no, because
Like-
this is a plan that Annie has just thought of now that they're in the compound. So I'm discussing
Cool.
with you guys, but technically this is meta. Your characters
Yeah.
don't know that she's about to do this. But
Okay.
I'm running this past you guys because
Listen,
this
you.
could throw us into absolute shit.
you are the one in charge of this
Yeah.
heist.
This
Do
is
what
your
you
heist.
feel is right. You are the leader.
Yes, Ian, I
Theoretically-
get us killed and then it's my fault.
Well, I mean, we can't blame you if we're dead.
No. Okay, we are consenting to go with your plan. Lisa, do you consent to this plan? Because I'm gonna need so much help from Captain to calculate not getting killed by this bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Okay, I mean, judging by the fact that nobody went abso-fucking-lutely not when I said that plan, I feel a little good about it.
You listen. It's not any worse than any of our other plans.
I mean, you're very correct. Okay.
We'll make it. We'll make do. Rip isn't here. That's all I care about.
That you know
Yeah.
All
of.
right.
Yes.
We know of. Don't
Are
give me that shit.
Are you guys ready to put time into play?
Well, my chest didn't hurt, but now it does. So yes, I'm ready.
What a great sign! Didn't have heartburn, but now it's in full effect. Let's go!
I really appreciate that you guys allowed me to stop the whole campaign just to talk through my anxiety. But here we go. It's the meme where you're slamming on that big red button. As they are walking, Annie angles her body so that she is displaying that she is in full intention to walk on the right-hand path the way she is supposed to. She puts herself in a position where she is close enough to Daisy. She kind of puts a little bounce in her step to make it look, like she's just a fucking weirdo, and that she's excited to be dropping off a kid that she kidnapped. You can
As you do,
imagine full Harley Quinn here. She's just excited for something to happen. And then she nudges Daisy, and as she does, she just stage whispers like "run," and then nudges when she elbows, she nudges to the left.
All I could hear was AWOL Nation's run.
Yep.
Same.
Same.
I was actually oh god. Yeah, same. It's just like run.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, goodness.
Yeah, so she we're full tilt into it now, lads. She run.
Okay, so Daisy has no idea what's going on, but it understands. She's in full mission mode. It's like if your partners say run, you run. You don't stop and ask questions. So she just starts running aimlessly towards the left, unsure
Yes.
of where she's running to.
Well, I assume that it would be like that if this weren't a plan. If she already tried to run once. So if we, as kidnappers, were bringing her into this place and she was just like, well, I have to get away, she would just start running. She would still be confused, right? So it's not like it's plausible. So as she gets a little bit away, Annie turns around and she doesn't scream because obviously she doesn't want to draw any unnecessary attention, but just in case there might be somebody listening or seeing this, she says it loud enough, speaking voice, where she slams her hand on either Sparky or Seth, whoever's closest to her. And she's like, what are you waiting for? Go after her. But then like she angles her body to put her foot in front of one of them to trip them.
Give me a blend in roll to make this look convincing.
Oh goodness. Okay. Luckily, my blend in is a presence, which I can re-roll if I need to.
Nice.
That is the 23
23. Okay.
on a first roll.
You might want to re-roll that.
Yeah, I will re-roll.
Add a d6 too if you need to.
Oh no! Oh, I should have just taken that and rolled the
Auto-crit.
d6 because I'm. Is it cool with you guys if I auto crit?
I mean, we're
Auto crit.
Okay,
We
Raven,
need
I'm
breathing
going
room.
auto crit. Final answer.
Okay. Awesome. Because you're up against a 30.
Yeah. No,
so
I
there
rolled
are
a 13 the first time. I rolled a 3 the second time, and I have to take the second option. So
Oof.
yeah, we're gonna auto crit.
Okay, cool. So there are a couple people in the office that you're supposed to be going to, and they are watching what's going on, and they are watching it very closely. But auto crit, so they 100% believe that this trip was due to incompetence of your guards, and one of them sort of makes a motion to the other. You can't really see this from where you are, but just explaining for everybody else's benefit. One of them makes the a motion to the other, and they hit an escaped prisoner alarm.
Annie, as soon as Annie trips whoever is in front of her, she sends off a comm straight to Seattle that says, hit the EMP. Do it now.
We discussed the diving from up in the air, right?
Well, you also said that if you turned off the shuttle, it wouldn't suffer so much. So she's betting on that.
It's also fair.
All right.
Yeah.
Seattle's
Whatever you're gonna
powering down
do,
the
do it
shuttle
now.
completely, like dead shuttle. What do I got to roll?
Either engineering, take a pick.
I'll probably take mechanical at this rate because that way he can make sure any shielding he needs to is up.
How bad is it?
I'm about to roll 28 plus 7.
Oh, that's not bad. That's 35.
Okay. Yeah, you do a pretty good job. You're able to completely shut down everything in the shuttle and basically do the equivalent of like on a car you take the remove the cables from the battery.
Yep. Remove the little parts that you need to. And yeah, and then the EMP goes off.
Okay. So the EMP goes off. The blast originates from the shuttle, which is just outside the compound. And the blast is about the size of the compound, so you end up hitting about 3/4 of the compound itself. The far end is unaffected. But you get the vast majority of it, especially the area that you're all in right now. And as soon as you do, the alarm sound stops. There's a lot of, like electricity arcing off of different things. And everything seems to shut down. Lights go out, the mounted things where they move around just sort of like default to the pointed down position. And it seems to have been rather effective. And I think that's a good spot to take a quick break. So we're going to take a 10-minute break. Go stretch your legs, grab a drink, have an existential crisis about what's about to happen, whatever you need to do, and we'll be back in 10 minutes to find out how the rest of this goes. Be right back. All right, we are back with half a plan, and the EMP just went off from the shuttle, which Seattle has wisely completely powered down and removed the power source for. So the EMP goes off. It disables a whole bunch of stuff. The lights, the alarms, everything seems to go down in the compound. Though Sparky, even from your position in the dirt, having been tripped by Annie, you know that that's probably not going to last very long, that probably some of those systems are just kicking over to backups. So everyone else might feel a little bit overconfident, perhaps.
Hey, Sparky's gonna shout, not any words, but just like, ah! And like haul Seth up with them to go and chase after Daisy.
Okay.
So Raven, did we discuss over the potato model where the security room with the cameras were?
Yes. It is adjacent to the building that you're supposed to go talk to the negotiators in.
Okay.
The accounts receivable, if you will.
Okay, cool. No, just as long as we know where it is, that's okay.
Yep, which is where Daisy is currently running towards. Yeah, the first thing you all might notice is that there doesn't seem to be anybody running out of buildings. Which might seem a
I
little
hate
bit
this. I hate it. I'm just...
No matter
Annie
what the
runs-
outcome, it's gonna be anxious.
Yeah, absolutely. You are correct, Jay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Annie just beelines it for where she knows from model that Liam is supposed to be. She lets Daisy go to whatever Daisy needs to do, and she decides that she's going to let her do that.
Okay. Give me a nimbleness roll to see how quickly you can get to that building.
Okay, hold on. Let me pull in my stats. What am I looking at? Okay. 20.
Yeah, you run decently well. You're able to get there within about a minute to the front door of this building. And it's like a giant apartment building. So there's like stairwells that go up and down the middle of the building. Each floor has like a hallway down the middle of it, the sort of open hallway with several doors on the left and the right that go to the different apartment rooms.
Okay, can Annie do a quick check to see if she can get any visual on anybody? Make sure that there's nobody around.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a sight roll.
It's 15.
15? Nope, you don't notice anything. You don't notice anybody around or anything like that. Everything's still pretty quiet.
Okay.
What is Sparky doing at this point? Because Annie has just booked it off in the other direction.
Where is Daisy still going?
Daisy ran towards the building that has the security stuff in it, just because that's kind of the direction she was told to run. And probably by this point she's gotten there, and is just sort of like hunkered down just around the corner of the building.
Okay.
Kind of like, what now? Looking at you.
Shit. Sparky would give a look over to Seth, like get his attention, and do one of these towards Annie. Just like a, you go after her, I'll take care of this kind of motion without saying anything.
Seth gives you like this overly dramatic salute.
Yeah.
And then runs off towards Annie.
Okay. And yeah, Sparky would continue running towards Daisy and do, based on where they think the cameras are, would do kind of like a, in the blind part of where the camera might see, like blocking with the body or something, like a, like pointing towards the security office.
So Daisy just looks back at you and makes hand motions of like two fists put together.
Okay.
And makes a motion like she's trying to pull them apart and they won't.
Can I roll something to see if I can like understand what she's meaning? We know sign. Why are we not using sign?
That's a fair point.
What would you like me to roll for that?
Probably gut feeling.
Okay.
Gut feeling or education.
I'll do gut feeling. It's a little higher. 22.
22. You get the feeling that she's saying the door won't open.
Shit. Oh, because the powers. Fuck. Why didn't we think of this? Oh, because we're idiots. That's...
Wait for the light bulb to go off.
Yeah. Wow, that took a little longer than it should have. Sorry. Are there windows? Do the windows look like they're, reinforced, bulletproof kind of thing?
Yeah, some of the buildings have windows. There's not windows into that particular building.
Okay.
But there are to like the negotiation room where you, where they're expecting you to go. All of the apartment buildings have some windows, and some of the various other buildings have windows too. And yes, they do look like they're reinforced. Not like the wire mesh, like in between panes type reinforced.
Okay.
But they look like they would be very difficult to break without a weapon or explosive of some kind.
Okay.
And they are tinted, so it's hard to see through them.
Okay. In that case, I'm gonna run up. Sparky's gonna like just do a full like hard fist bang on the door and yell like, "Open up! We got an emergency!" and try to bluff it.
Okay. Let's do a speech roll.
Okay.
Come on, Spark, you got this.
24. Can I roll a d6 on that? I would actually really like to roll a d6 on that if everyone's cool with that.
Yes.
If you'd like to, you don't have to.
I don't need it.
You don't need it.
Okay. All right.
You have a big situational bonus here.
Okay.
24 is totally fine because the situation matches what you're saying.
Okay.
So you're banging on the door, going, "Let me in an emergency," and you hear back a muffled, We'd love to. There's no power to the door.
Sparky's gonna yell back, "Manual bypass, idiot!" And just hope that works. Because I don't know if they have them.
You hear back, "What do you think this is, Star Trek?"
Okay, you got me there. I'll give you that.
Like, it's magnetically sealed. I can't unlock it.
Hey now, has made sure all of the airlocks and all of the doors on the ship can be manually bypassed for this reason.
It's a good safety mechanism. It's probably how Rip got in the ship, sadly. Okay. Does it look like there's anyone looking right now? Like from where Sparky is?
Not that you can tell.
Okay.
The
If Sparky
windows
has
are
a...
all tinted, so you don't see anything, but you also know that there could be. And you just
Right,
can't
like
see.
it could be one way or something. Okay, Sparky's gonna make like they're going around the other side of the building and go around to where Daisy is and do a quick like, we gotta get in there. If you can get the door open, I can stun them.
Okay. So Daisy just looks at you like, the fuck was that? Wait, this was not the plan. What is going on?
Don't look at me. Annie just went off, tripped us, and then it's on. Like, I don't know. All I know is you need to be in that room and you're not.
Oh my god, yeah. It's shut, like sealed. If they can't
How do we get...
we need the power on to open the door so I can get in there.
Is there a way to like put power in remotely? Maybe?
Maybe. I need a power source that's not fried now. And like some wire cutters probably. Normally I would have these things, but and she just sort of like with hands tied motions at her outfit.
Yeah, okay. Sparky's gonna untie her.
Okay.
Because it's shit has clearly hit the fan and we need all hands. Sparky's gonna hold out the stun lance that they had, like the stun rod that they had, and say like, would this have enough power in it?
Yeah, it's probably would.
Okay.
And she's like, I mean, just stand over there so nobody can see me.
Yeah. Yeah, Sparky like puts two and two together real quick and like goes around the corner.
So Daisy goes up and starts looking for any kind of access panel that she could potentially manually bypass this door.
Mm-hmm. It was the best idea I had on the spot. I'm sorry.
No, it's great because it's a good idea. It's just the cartel people are like, what?
Fuck, you think this is the future?
They're not paid to think outside the box.
This wasn't in the training video.
Yeah,
It's good if there's, yeah.
Yeah, so with that, we'll hop back over to Annie real quick. So Annie, you get there, you're looking around to see who's looking through windows and stuff, and you don't notice anyone. Before you go to take your next move or step, a very winded Seth runs up and just sort of just doubled over trying to catch his breath. And goes, okay, what now?
What do you mean, what now? What now? What now? We find Liam. What do you mean, what now? We do what we came here to do.
Sorry. Well, obviously, but like, I don't know, I'm just following your lead here.
Yeah, well, okay. Where will we find Liam? God, Seth, you made it seem like you knew what this place looked like.
I did. I described it. I pointed everything out. It's all accurate. He's on the 3rd floor, probably.
All right, then let's go to the 3rd floor, Seth. She starts going.
Seth just this is exacerbated after you motion.
Annie just blows right past it.
Yeah, he just starts muttering as he's following up the stairs, panting, because he just ran the whole way and now he's climbing stairs. So you get to the 3rd floor, and he points, because he's very winded at this point, just points at one of the doors and goes, "It was that room, that's where we were staying."
Annie goes over and inspects the door. Is it a regular door, or are we in the same predicament?
Ironically, we needed the EMP to go off after we got through the doors.
These doors look like they're normal, like metal apartment doors. They swing inward and have normal handles and things like that, but it does appear to be locked.
Can she kick it open?
You
Can she use her?
You can certainly try.
Are you using the line specifically because I used that last time?
No, this is just a situation where you can certainly try. It's gonna be a might roll to try to kick this door down, and thank goodness you're not wearing heels.
I love the fact that Annie has the strength of a noodle. Come on, babe, you can do this. One mighty kick. Absolutely not. That's a fucking 10.
You kick the door and you feel like, you know when you're holding like something metal and you hit it up against something else that's metal kind of hard, that sort of tingling, uncomfortable sensation that goes up your arm?
Yeah, you know what that is? That's her bones reverberating in her body. Because
that's what happens
she's just
in your... Yeah, that's what happens in your leg. All you manage is to make a loud thud noise. And your leg feels tingly.
Annie
Seth?
puts her boot down, and she like puts her hands on her hips, and she looks at the door and then down to her foot, and then she mutters to herself, and she's like, "Well, that didn't go as I planned."
I just love picturing this look of like, do you know what you did? Look at this door.
And where were you?
Seth is looking at this whole thing, and as soon as you notice him or look his way, he quickly looks away and starts whistling. Like, I didn't see anything.
Annie gives like a she should have fucking done this in the first place. She gives like a quick 3 raps on the door. Just knocks.
You don't really hear much on the other side. But the door does seem to unlock.
Okay. And usually when someone knocks, that's like, "Hello, open your door."
You hear the door unlock, but that's all you hear. That's all that happens. The door's still shut.
Okay. Well, she's gonna open it. She's going to draw her pistol first, and then she's gonna open it.
Okay. As you open the door, it swings open. You look inside, and you don't see anyone. The apartment looks empty. And as you go to step into the apartment, assuming you do, right?
Very cautiously.
Okay. As you go to step into the apartment, we're gonna check on everybody else real quick.
I hate that. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Just real quick, Seattle and Troy, is there anything that you want to be doing during this?
Yes, Seattle would be liking to contact the captain.
How would you propose to do so?
By getting my comms back online first and foremost, and saying, an EMP went off. He's trying to do it in such a way that if the conversation was overseen,
Okay,
not
gotcha.
necessarily saying they set it off, an EMP was set off.
Let's do a Let's do a tech engineering roll to try to do this quickly. Reconnect everything and get it booted up fast enough.
Can I have my tools?
Sure.
21 plus 7, so 28.
28? Yeah. You'll be about caught up to where Sparky and Daisy and Annie and Seth are in the timeline here as you're making the call.
It's like an EMP went off. Just got comms back.
Understand. What do you need?
Unsure. Haven't heard from delivery team.
I have not heard anything.
Did they tell you
either.
anything?
I have heard nothing.
I think the plan changed.
That is likely the case.
I have no idea what we're doing.
Have you ever?
Suffering.
I mean, sometimes, maybe.
At this point, without any form of signal, all you can do is wait for them. Until something catastrophic happens or you're fired upon.
Going to continue repairing shuttle. We'll let you know as soon as I know anything.
Understood.
So Seattle's gonna keep working on getting the systems back up online. Like, he is also confused and like, what the fuck just happened?
Okay. Then we will hop back over to Annie and Seth. So, Annie, as you step inside,
Yeah.
Can you give me a nimbleness roll?
God damn it. Either Jay has manifested Rip, or I'm about to get a smack in the face by my little 17-year-old brother. You moron! It's a 12.
I love that you're willing to give me the credit on that.
I mean, that's
You
it is
reminded Raven that you're
entirely-
unlucky.
Because I haven't had it happen in 2 seasons.
It's true. I always forget that challenge that people have it. All right, so 12 is not going to cut it. And as you
Could I
step through-
potentially argue that I deserve to re-roll that because she is purposely being cautious in this very situation?
No. Because then you can
Well-
re-roll every roll.
I mean, you can't blame a girl for trying.
I cannot. It was a good try. But I don't think you're going to be too upset about what happens. So you're not fast enough. You do hear it coming, because you hear this loud "Ah!" from above you. As this humanoid figure just, like, monkey on your back, literally falls down from the ceiling, latches onto your back, and just starts punching you in the head. So you're gonna take 1 damage.
I mean, okay. I'm all right with that.
What do you do?
Try to get this person off.
All right, they are firmly grappling you, so that you can do either an opposed might check to try to remove them forcibly from you, or a opposed nimbleness check to try to slip out of their grasp.
I'll go nimbleness. Let's see.
Okay.
It's an 18.
They got a 32.
Of course, of course. Annie.
They're still punching you in the head and yelling. It sounds like a masculine voice.
What is Seth doing? Seth, hello? Buddy? Are you there? Knock, knock.
Seth. It's gonna take Seth a second to react. Also, thank you, Mike, for the $3 donation. The plot point suggestion is there's a handprint of red blood color on a wall, and that will I will bring that into play in a bit. So yeah, Seth is a little dumbfounded at first. Was not expecting that, so he'll act here in just a second. But yeah, you get hit in the head again.
I'm constantly, every single session that Seth is with us, I get a little angrier and angrier because I'm like, how is this lizard buffoon of a fucking, how did he manage to get the slip on Annie and put a gun to her head? I'm so angry.
I think Seth's answer would be, I have a very specific set of skills.
He got really, really lucky, and then he didn't.
Most of it involves mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And anything outside of that specific skill, he sucks at.
Okay. We'll forgive Seth for right now. Annie just starts, she doesn't yell, obviously, because of the nature of the circumstances that they're under. But she's just like, would you knock it off? And she's like wiggling around trying to get them off. Just get off my back. Like, she's like, would you knock that off?
Okay. So you're just trying to be convincing to talk them into not hitting you in the head?
It's more so a mindless babble of words towards someone who keeps punching you in the head.
Okay.
But it's not like, so it's not aggressive. Like, she's just like, please stop.
Okay. Are you just gonna like continue to stand there and take it, or do you want to try to get them off of you, or because like you still have an action that you can do here aside from just talking?
Okay, let's try to give them the slip again.
Okay.
That's a little bit better. 26.
Yeah, that works. So you're finally able to slip out of their grasp. They fall to the ground right as Seth is diving in to help you with another with a little yell of his own, and then sort of stops short, almost running into you as he realizes that you've taken care of the situation. And on the ground, on his back, staring up at you, is your little brother Liam.
Oh, fucking fine. Now let's get him out of here in one piece before I start to cry.
Say that.
Oh. So Annie turns around and looks down at this boy that she recognizes as Liam, but that she doesn't recognize from her own onslaught of memories, but from pictures. And she knows that this is the reason they're here, and she should feel, much happier than she does. But she recognizes that they're partway through the mission, so that does give her a little boost of hope, just momentarily. But she just kind of stands there for a moment and looks at this kid, and she doesn't say anything at first. She just stands there.
Okay. He looks up at you for a little bit dazed from being dropped on the floor, and is still sad. He's like, Seth? Annie? It looks very confused. Like, what are you two doing here?
Well, gee, I wonder what we could be doing at this cartel compound, breaking into your room. We're here to get you, kid. Let's go.
It's your birthday!
And he looks up at the two of you and goes, "Oh, okay." And you kind of get the sense that this is like the last thing in the world he expected to happen today. And it's
I
taking
would
a minute
assume so.
it's taking a minute for it to click in his head. And with that, we're gonna hop back over to Sparky and Daisy. So Sparky, you're trying to block vision to Daisy. So let's do. I'm gonna have you do a blend in check. It's sort of the opposite of blend in, but it's
I get what you
trying
mean. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm trying to like draw attention to myself almost by not drawing attention to myself. Can I roll a d6 on that? Because that's a 14.
Sure, if you'd like.
Yeah, I would really like to, because it's not going to help, but it certainly won't hurt. It's a 19.
Oh, speaking of which, there was 5 interactions on the game tweet, so
Oh, nice.
that is a d6 already. So I just won't bother adding it and then taking it off the board.
Cool.
So a 19, you do a fair job. You're kind of not big enough to completely hide what Daisy's doing,
Okay.
but you make the most out of your mask that you can. And Daisy does find a little access panel, which she uses the butt of the shock thing that you have to just try to beat it open. She doesn't have any tools to open it. And is not very successful. Making a bunch of racket. And you just hear her swearing and cursing. Open, damn it!
Sparky's gonna go to the door and do like a rap-a-tap tap and be like, "We got an engineer working on the door. Hang tight."
You hear a muffled, okay. Is everything okay out there? I heard some swearing and, like, pounding sounds.
Yep, that's the engineer. Just try to get the door open for you.
Alright, I guess we'll hanging tight here.
Okay.
About that time, start to hear some electrical whirring noises from various spots around the compound. It sounds like some systems are coming back online. It unfortunately does not seem to be the door.
No. Are our like person-to-person comms still working? Like, if I do a test on that, does it still work?
Nope. Not even a little click. It is completely dead.
Okay. Well, there's that at least. Sparky's gonna go back around to Daisy and be like, "We gotta hurry this the fuck up because shit's coming back online."
She's like, I can't get the thing open.
Okay, then don't worry about it. Once the power comes on, we'll just go in.
Okay. I mean, do we even need to do this? Since the EMP happened?
I'd rather that we can do something here, like maybe take out the cameras manually.
I mean, they're probably down now, but,
I think they're coming back. And I kind of like gesture to the around.
she just sort of makes this heavy, anxious sigh. She's like, this was not the plan. This was not the plan. This wasn't the plan.
How do you think I'm dealing? I look totally placid and calm because I have a helmet on.
She's like, no, I know. This was not the plan. It's just like in solidarity, not accusingly, but in solidarity, like, this wasn't the plan.
All we have to do is keep tight until Seattle gets the shuttle in here, and then we can just fuck.
All right. Do you want to try to open it? And she hands you back the little lock thing.
Um,
Like the panel, it's like metal.
uh-huh.
It's like a metal panel cover, and it's dented and bent and stuff, but it's not come loose at all.
What if we just shock the whole panel?
I honestly don't know what would happen. I guess we could try.
It's not much else we can do. So Sparky would take the stun rod back and do a full like. I think I try to get it in around like where the hinges are, see if there's any like space or gaps between the panel, but like just try and wedge it in and discharge it.
Okay. Give me a D100 roll.
Okay.
You've got a 50-50 chance. So low is bad, high is good.
Is it? Is it?
Oh no. Oh goodness. Okay. So we'll do good news, bad news on this. The bad news is it doesn't open the door.
Mm-hmm.
The good news is you hear a sound from the other side as it electrocutes the guys that were standing by the door.
Okay, well that works.
Followed by a flump noise as they hit the ground.
Sparky will kind of do like a. Like, obviously can't see the face, but like, I think that's a good. I think that's good.
Daisy just sort of gives you like a half shrug and like slowly puts her thumb up with this like, yay? Question mark?
So Sparky's gonna grab Daisy's hands and be like, just make like I still have you tied, and then start like moving towards where they saw Annie running to, because they figure it's a better chance to have all of them together if something else is going on.
That's fair. Yeah, Daisy like picks up the rope from the ground where you
Okay.
cut it, and just like it's this very loose knot.
Yeah.
She can,
Yeah.
So she can break away very easily, but it looks like she's tied up.
Okay.
Okay. And yeah, as you're walking, you do notice some of the cameras are starting to come back up. The big guns in front of the complex have lifted back up.
Sparky's gonna make it apparent by their walk that they're in no hurry.
Okay. Let's do a discipline check on that.
Fuck.
Would you like to add a d6 to that?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
It's 100% in character for Sparky.
It very much is.
So like 3 steps in, Sparky's like, no, fuck it, run.
Daisy does a pretty good job of staying in character and looking nervous, but also not in a hurry.
Right, right.
And yeah, you're not very convincing at all with the walking casual.
Yeah. So
but
yeah,
given the situation, you don't know this in character, but out of character, I'll go ahead and tell you. Nobody notices. It seems fitting for the situation.
Yeah, shit, everything's going wrong. Who knows what's happening?
Yeah. Hopping back over to the apartment. Annie, what would you like to do? As Liam is looking very confused and still processing as he's trying to pick himself up off the ground.
She crouches down and takes him by the arm and helps him up. Gently. She recognizes that this kid is in a rough spot, so she's nice about it, but she helps him up.
Okay. As you do, you notice that he seems very scrappy. He's very, very skinny, but not like necessarily unhealthily so. But is probably a little bit skinnier than most kids his age should be. And very, very scrappy, like he's been in a lot of fights and things like fist fights
Yeah.
over the past year or so. But as you help him up, it does sort of click on what's happening, and he gives you like just the biggest bear hug.
Oh no. Uh, Annie is very shocked. She wasn't expecting that. And she's still really high strung from, they're in the cartel compound. So it like takes her a minute. And then she gives him a quick pat on the back and tries to delicately extract herself from his hug. She's just like, "Come on, kid, we have to go."
He's hugging you with like the strength and intensity of a scared toddler. If you've ever
Stop
had
that.
a toddler hug you and while they're scared and try to extract them, it's next to impossible. But after a few seconds, he does let up and kind of realize, like, yeah, we got to get out of here. So he looks at you and just says, "Nice getup. It suits you. What are we doing? How are we getting out of here?"
Annie tries to put on like chalance as she looks at this kid, and she's like, "Well, we're gonna leave."
Uh-huh. What's the plan? And at this point, he just looks at Seth. Like, help me out, buddy. And Seth just sort of like takes his helmet off and does a nervous grin and sort of a little chuckle and looks at Annie like, "Yeah, what's the plan?"
Annie sighs very frustratedly, and she's like, "Listen, the plan was getting here and getting to you. Right now, we're kind of on our own. So if you have any suggestions, we are taking those."
Okay. That sounds like a plan you would yell at me about. That's ironic. But I'll laugh about
Her
that
features
later.
kind of tighten a little bit at that. Like it's not painful per se, but like hearing him talk about knowing her and her not knowing him is a little off-putting for her. So she tries to keep that smile on her face, but her features kind of like the muscles tighten a little bit.
Okay. And he says, "All right, well, the back stairwell is probably the best bet for not being seen. I heard alarms and then they went off. Like what happened?"
Well, we set off an EMP.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I don't, yeah. The power should be coming back on anytime soon, so we should skedaddle.
And Liam looks at Seth and just says, "Cafeteria food fight?" And Seth looks back at Liam, a little confused for a second, and goes, there's a noticeable light bulb that clicks on, and goes, "Yes, that should work." And Liam grabs your hand and just starts running towards the back of the hallway outside the room, or outside the apartment, with Seth right behind you. Do you do anything, or just sort of go along with whatever they're doing?
We are going. That's
Okay.
Somebody has a plan. We're going.
So they get up to the stairwell, and you can notice that the stairs do go down, and you could easily run down them, But Liam points to the rain gutter that's right next to the stairs, and says, "Okay, so what you want to do?" He's like, "I don't have any mashed potatoes, obviously, to like we did with the thing. It makes you go down faster. But what you want to do, maybe like just like pull your sleeves up or something, put something on your hands, and we're just gonna slide this down like a fire pole. It'll be faster. The cameras don't see the rain gutter. Just don't fall. It'll be fine." And with that, he just like has this like oversized long sleeve shirt on. So just sort of pulls the sleeves up a little bit, and like a monkey, hops onto the rain gutter, slaps both hands on either side of it, and just slides down like a fireman down a fire pole. And Seth just looks at you like, "After you."
Annie has this like wild-eyed look on her face, like what the absolute hell is happening? Yeah, in case y'all missed that, Annie's wearing a sheer crop top. She doesn't have sleeves. So she hauls her boots off and takes off her socks and shoves her feet back into her boots. And she's like, "Well, I guess I didn't really contemplate the fact that a gutter might be the cause of my death. But I mean, since we have nothing else to go on, I guess I'm just going to hope for the best." And then she okay, go ahead.
This is Seth, meanwhile, is like doing the "I gotta pee" dance because he's so nervous, looking down the other stairwell, like keeping an eye out. He's like, "Yeah, gutter. They're dangerous. Yep. We need to go. Gotta go."
Annie rolls her eyes and then uses her socks as sleeves like Liam.
Go ahead and do a nimbleness check to successfully navigate this rain gutter.
Well, it was nice knowing you guys. Please keep Annie's memory alive. Tell
you're only on
Liam.
the third floor. Probably won't.
Oh,
kill you.
okay. It's fine. I forgot about that. I thought we were way higher.
Yeah, just break your arms and legs, but you'll live.
I mean, you could probably say that we're like really high because that's a nat 20, and I have a 10
Nice.
modifier, so 40.
So that's a
She just straight up
40.
like anime lands on the ground.
Get on one
Which,
knee.
Yeah,
Nothing
superhero
happens
landing.
to her wig, or like her wig's completely intact.
totally.
So that falls between impressive and incredible, which to describe impressive to you, it's described as tasks that would require the person to be dedicated in their field or ability, expert level of experience or knowledge. So basically, to make a long story short, you go down this thing like a professional gymnast, and you look very impressive doing so, even though you have socks on your hands. And yeah, you make a superhero landing or whatever you'd like to do for your flourish at the landing.
So what you're saying is now I'm really gonna make Seth fall in love with me.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, no, she
So-
lands like a normal human being.
So yeah, I imagine after Seth, manages to close his mouth, he hops up there and does the same thing. It's gonna be not great. He gets down just fine, but he slips a lot and takes some of the like brackets with him. Manages to not yell, but sort of lands in a crumple. But he's all right. He hops back up and just like, okay.
Annie
And,
kind of side glances at Liam and she's like, are you telling me he's done this before?
Liam's like, he's a little clumsy, but he usually gets it right.
Well, I mean, nothing's broken, so at least we don't have to carry him.
He's pretty lightweight. It's not too bad. But yeah, let's go. And Liam just grabs your hand and starts running again around the apartment building. And as you do, you also notice, much as Sparky and Daisy did, that the cameras seem to be coming back online. None of them are pointing at where you are, but you can tell that they are working again. And the guns on the towers around the compound also seem to be working again. But you don't notice anybody outside. There's no alarms, and the lights all seem to still be off.
Annie motions to the functioning cameras and suggests that while they don't seem to be pointing anywhere specific, let's just keep to the as much to the blind spots as possible.
And Liam, with some notably Annie-like sarcasm, goes, "Yeah, that's the idea." Like, don't get me wrong, I'm really happy you're here, but just not the little kid I used to be. I got it, don't worry.
You know,
remember to breathe.
No, it's just that all this time, it's been our operation that we have no memories, and it just occurred to me again that he doesn't know that.
Doesn't know you don't know him.
You thought getting him back would be the hardest part.
Annie doesn't say anything to that. She's still focused on just making it out alive, so she doesn't razz him yet.
Okay. Yeah, he just keeps holding your hand and keeps running, and his grip is like surprisingly strong. Yeah, he kind of has you zigging and zagging in between buildings and things. You definitely get the impression that he's done this before. After a while, Sparky, was there a particular direction or place that you were heading towards?
Yeah, wherever Annie was heading off to. So if I'm assuming that she was following a path, I'd be trying to follow kind of parallel to that.
Okay. So eventually, Sparky, like out of the corner of your eye off to the left, you probably notice some people like running between buildings, and because Annie's wearing that stark blonde wig, you figure it's probably Annie.
Okay.
And Annie, you notice the same thing as you're running. You glance over to your left and see Sparky and Daisy walking down the path.
Okay. Fuck. Okay. Sparky's gonna run over to Annie and make a show of like, I got the prisoner, like I got her. But while like making that show is instead going to say, what the fuck do we do now? I think I have a plan, but are we good? And kind of like looking at the now three of them.
Annie looks to Liam and she's like, listen, kid, do you have like a fast way for us to get out of here? Or are we gonna have to resort to some crazy plan?
I won't fight you on that. That's 100% a crazy plan.
So Liam looks at you and just says, I mean, I know how to get around the compound relatively unseen. But I mean, if I knew how to escape, I would have done it already.
Annie mumbles something under her breath that sounds a lot like, listen here, you little shit, but she doesn't say anything.
And Seth is just doing the like, I can tell that there's tension between you two, and I'm the friend in this situation, and I don't want to get in the middle of it, but I can't go anywhere. So they're just like, nervous laughter.
So Sparky looks at Annie, like lifts up the visor a little bit, and is like, so this is all banking on Seattle getting the ship running and seeing this, or possibly Captain, but I mean, she's in the atmosphere, so like it's hard to say. I brought smoke grenades, so if I throw one, they might know that we need pickup, but also everyone else will know.
We'll let the kid get us as close to the front of the compound as possible. I mean,
I don't know if we want to do that because that's where the guns are.
yeah, but that's also where Seattle is.
Further we are from danger, I don't know. It's your...
Daisy does chime in at this point and says, all right, look, if most of the doors probably work the same way as the security room, they're not going to budge without a power source. Tried really hard to get to the security room, and just it's impossible without the right tools. So I think the main gate is probably not going to be an option. And yeah, there's guns, and if I remember right, wasn't there something about nerve gas at the front gate?
Yep, there was.
That might not be the best option. I don't have
big open space. You know, we lay on the ground in the smoke, harder to shoot us. I don't know. We should have thought this out a little further. Hi, also.
Liam just sort of gives you a quick nod, and Seth snaps or tries to snap his fingers, but he's got gloves on, so it doesn't make much of a noise. But does like a snap motion, and goes, "Oh, the field, the fitness field, the where we do the sparring and stuff. It's big and open, and the guns aren't really pointed towards it usually. There'll be cameras, but I mean,
They already know we're here.
yeah, nobody's running out of the building, so
Yeah.
Annie takes a look around, and she's like, does that not seem extremely fishy to you? Everybody just stays put.
Why you gotta do this to me?
Annie
Daisy,
looks to Liam.
Liam and Daisy like answer at the same time, kind of a thing, and then kind of look at each other like, "What?" But the response that they both blurt out at the same time is like, "Well, if the doors are sealed, then they can't get out."
But we
They
haven't.
do the exchange, and then Liam speaks up and goes, "Yeah, all of the buildings have magnetic sealed doors, so if there's no power, there's nothing to remove the seal."
I mean, fair.
We need to get comms to Seattle just in case.
Annie like taps on her device. Is there any power to them yet?
The comm unit,
Yeah.
they're fried.
Oh.
Are they unusable? Like they
Yeah.
can't be fixed, or are they just like wiped of power? This is me, like me asking in character.
Yeah, they're fried. You could probably repair them like with replacement parts and stuff, but for your intents and purposes right now, they are inoperable completely.
Okay, I have like portions of a plan for that, but I think the smoke is the best option I have.
Okay,
I bought these back in season 1.
I remember. That's awesome.
This is not how I thought I was going to use them.
So where did you want to use the smoke?
I think Seth's on it. The fitness field.
It's like a big soccer or football field, but for like
People.
combat training and stuff.
Okay, so we get to the field, we use the smoke bombs, then what?
Then we hope Seattle comes and picks us up. Like
That seems to be no shade to Seattle, perfectly capable guy, but none of us, to my knowledge, have any telepathic abilities. How are you expecting Seattle to know?
Because A, there's been no smoke coming out of the whole compound. B, Captain might see it, and C, I figured they're in contact. if Seattle's as clever as we think.
Okay, so you have enough smoke bombs for that.
I think so. I mean, I kind of have to, don't I?
I mean, if you think that it can make a big enough show, then I guess that might be our best play.
That's the hope.
Daisy chimes in again and just suggests, like, so this is probably the only time you'll ever hear me suggest this. Given our history, do you have anything that might explode? That we could set off an explosion with?
Nothing.
My child! Seattle is suddenly feeling very proud.
But if we overload the stun rod and like put it next to something that could explode, maybe? That's about as close to an explosion I have. I got the Rudy Tooty, but not the little boomy.
Right. Daisy just looks over at Liam like, well, Liam's like, I don't know of anything that would be out in the open that we could do that with.
Is there anything at the field? You said it was combat training.
I mean, there's grass.
Grass is flammable.
There's grass. There's big stadium lights.
Grass is flammable.
Sure. Okay. So Liam helps you get over to the field.
Okay.
At this point, you start to hear alarms going off as it seems they've been able to get more and more systems online. Unfortunately, because of that nat 20 on the EMP, the doors are still sealed shut. That's not going to last much longer. Like, cannot emphasize enough how much that is saving all of you right now. So, I guess let's do... Sparky, would you like to try to overload this, or would you like to hand it to Daisy?
I would love to hand it to Daisy. I would love to help, but I'm not going to be the one in major charge of it.
Okay, go ahead and roll mechanical engineering.
Oh, good.
She's going to do the same.
17.
It's a 17.
If it was tech, I could do it.
At a 23. So between the two of you, you're able to do this fairly easily.
Okay.
Annie, do you have anything in Naturalist?
Naturalist. I have a 4 in Naturalist.
Okay, just give it a roll.
I have 1 point in it as well, so I can...
Okay, roll for Naturalist?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
I heard 10.
18.
Oh, good.
18? Yeah, that's good enough. You managed to find, like, the longest, driest patch of grass to give it optimal smoke and fire. And collectively, you make a fire that's very smoky.
And once we've got it like smoky enough, I'm gonna start setting off the smoke grenades. I don't remember how many I got, but I think it's like three or four probably at most.
Three sounds right. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll set them up like one here, one here, one here to try to maximize how much smoke we get.
Yeah.
And then tell everyone like stand kind of in the center of it.
Okay. Did you specify a color for those? If you did not,
no.
Would you like to?
Yeah, I would actually. Now that you give me the option to, I'm gonna make it as like vibrantly green as possible. Like,
Okay.
not quite lime, but close.
Okay.
Clearly not a normal fire smoke.
They glow green.
Yeah, exactly.
Windbreaker
Nice.
green.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. And I will say that as you do this, and as you're all standing in the middle of this field, I need an look with empathy. I need an empathy check from Sparky and from Annie.
Oh no.
Did you say Annie?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Right
Okay.
now. Oh, that's 13.
22.
Would you like to add a d6 to that, Sparky? And you can't see me, but I'm nodding my head.
Yes, I would.
Okay.
Come on, Spark.
16.
Perfect. Okay. As this happens, you see that the cameras are moving around, and the guns. It doesn't look like the cameras have like specifically pinpointed in on you or anything, but the guns are rotating and they're starting to turn towards the field, and both of you start feeling very stressed, like just huge amounts of adrenaline and stress, and you're sweating and worrying. And as you do, the situation seems just a little bit familiar. You have a sense of deja vu. Sparky, you have this vague sense of a memory of setting up an LZ like this before. And Annie, Liam seems a little bit more familiar to you. Like, you don't remember him, but you start to feel a sense of familiarity, more so than you would for someone that you just met.
Sparky's gonna probably tell everyone, like, get down on your stomachs.
Okay.
Just to just this empathy of like setting up an LZ suddenly makes them more nervous than usual. So it's just like okay, maybe we should reduce how much like room we're taking up. You know, get into the fetal position. It's really just an excuse to get into the fetal position.
With that, Android and Seattle, I need a sight check from both of you. Oh, wait. I think you're muted there, Alex. What was the... Hold up one sec.
Uh-oh. No, don't tell me that you didn't.
Oh,
What?
no.
What?
Thanks. Triple crits.
You're still muted.
Still muted.
There you go.
Hello, please give us 3 crits.
Okay. That was gonna be my next question. I'm like, I'm assuming you want all 3 of those for the cast?
Oh yes, you're not getting anything. You have RIP.
Yeah, that's fair.
You
He is a
have
crit.
RIP.
Thank you so much for the donation. I really appreciate it. And yes, I've added 3 crits. You now have 4 crits on the board.
In that case,
So I have to roll sight.
Yes, sight.
my
and,
sight sucks, so I'm using that crit.
Okay. And Android, you can also add the ship's systems training into your sight roll.
Oh god.
No.
Oh no.
Would you like to use that crit I just bought?
Yes.
You bought into the robot persona so much that
So if I crit that,
I will say this. Only one of you needs to see this.
yeah.
Okay,
You
so-
are in communication.
so Alex used the crit. I'll add on the ship's computer, so 7
Okay.
or
It's still an
16, I don't know.
It's still an @1, so
Yeah.
it's a critical fail regardless. So
Do I just like slam my head down into the computer or something? Like
no, you like you're trying to enhance the resolution of the sensors or something like that, some sci-fi technical jargon, and you put a decimal where it wasn't supposed to be or something like that, or something's like a 0 and it was supposed to be a 1, and it just like shuts, that it crashes the sensors, and so you've got to reboot them before you can see things again. Thanks so much, Michael. I really appreciate that. That's 3 crits to me.
No, she has
I
RIP.
applaud you.
Why?
I applaud you.
She has RIP.
It's only fair.
RIP.
It's only fair.
Rip is a crit. I mean,
And he almost
Level
died.
20.
I will use them responsibly. Thank you very much, Michael.
Ah!
I appreciate that.
I have never once seen you use one of those crits on Daisy or Seth.
Yet.
See responsibly. I'm kidding. I will use them to make really interesting and entertaining story decisions.
Okay.
That way.
You can fuck me up. It's okay.
Okay. So Alex, Seattle, using the crit, you spot this green smoke and you immediately put 2 and 2 together. Like, oh, that's an extraction signal.
I gotta go.
Go ahead.
Have I repaired the ship enough by this point?
Yeah. It's you've reconnected everything. The ship is functional again. Thanks, Michael. Yeah, we're only $4 away from the goal, and that means like a random bonus to the cast. So, if anybody does want to put in that last 4, we are really close to the goal. Don't feel like you have to by any means. So yeah, you put 2 and 2 together, and you're able to take off in the shuttle. And as you do, some of those guns start pointing towards the shuttle. And you get the same sensation as everybody else of being very stressed, lots of adrenaline, and then go ahead and give me an empathy check.
Who?
Oh, sorry. Who am I? Who's your?
Seattle.
Oh.
It's okay, Lisa. I'm on the same boat. My empathy's garbage.
Right. Sorry, I'm trying to find the right page because I had a bunch of pages pulled up to do the donation. Sorry.
No worries. I appreciate it.
Empath. Oh.
Oh.
17?
17. That is enough.
Okay.
And suddenly you get that sense of deja vu as well. You feel like you have a strange feeling like you've engaged in reckless rescue missions like this before. You're not quite sure who it was that you were rescuing, but the whole situation feels very familiar. Probably a lot like you've probably rescued somebody on this crew before like this in the past. But as you have that sort of memory flash, again, not really remembering specifics, but you do get a feeling of memory. When that happens, the adrenaline spike kind of fades off, and you feel normal again. But yeah, you see the extraction zone, you see the smoke, and as you're flying in, the guns do start shooting at you. So you can do mechanical or technical engineering. I'll let you do either. You can't use your tools for this because it's piloting, but you can do either skill. One's more just using manual controls, and the other is letting the ship help you more. So whichever you feel would be better.
28.
Yeah, because you upgraded those that maneuverability, you're able to. You're like strafing all over the place. You look like some preteen kid in a first-person shooter, jumping up and down and bunny hopping everywhere with the shuttle.
Oh yeah.
Is it like watching a dragonfly come around?
Yeah. You probably you're probably having to have a stomach ache at the end of this, but
don't care. I'm not dead.
You're really hard to hit, and you're able to land right next to where everybody is.
Great. Open it long enough just for them to get in.
Okay. You get a nimbleness roll from Annie and Sparky. I'm going to do the same for
Also, sending a message to the captain. Delivery team on board coming home.
Understood.
I think if everyone's okay with it, I might use a d6 on that. Just to get that up to a 20. Yeah. D6. That's 19.
Just bump it up to 20.
Yeah. Yeah. I knew as soon as I said it.
What was Annie's?
20.
20? Okay. So how we're going to do this is, Sparky, you're just the last one on.
Mhm.
It's enough to get there, but you're the last one on. And,
Okay.
Right before you hop onto the ship, you see those guns by the field turn and point it at the shuttle. And, like, the door's closing as the blasts are hitting the shuttle.
Okay.
I got shields.
Yep. Everybody on the shuttle gets knocked to the ground, aside from Seattle, who's, I assume, is strapped into the pilot seat. And yeah, the ship
the put your seatbelt light comes on.
Yeah.
He has installed that. He installed that.
Explode.
Oh, I missed that show.
Right?
Oh.
The shuttle gets knocked around quite a bit. But yeah, those brand new shields that you installed soak up the brunt of the damage. So as long as you leave right now,
we're going. We're not sticking around. We're leaving.
The worst the shuttle gets is some blast scoring and scorch marks on the outside. And they did have the audacity to mess up your logo on the side.
The Lion, the Witch, and the audacity of this bitch.
Yep.
Exactly.
I would also like to point out that it was Annie who took Liam's hand this time and hauled him into the shuttle.
That's cool.
Like, it's like, here's my cool effects.
So yeah, Seattle, given your just static score of engineering and stuff and skill with piloting the shuttle, I'm not going to make you roll for any of this.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you're not having to do too much. You dodge a few more cannon shots from these turrets, and then you're pretty much free and clear to get to the ship. As the shuttle is coming into dock with the ship, Android, you notice those fighters that we were talking to earlier. They're making a fast beeline towards the Lagrange. So
it's like
give me that information what you will.
Also, Seattle's like, okay, we need to dock and go.
Okay. How close are they to the ship?
They're approaching rapidly. They'll be within weapons range in a matter of.
No, I mean the shuttle.
A minute or two. The shuttle is like in the process of docking.
Okay, so I'm gonna close the thing.
Okay.
And I'm going to go on the loudspeaker. Brace for warp speed.
Okay. And also, in this moment, let me have you roll a tech engineering roll.
Okay. Can I put the ship's computer on it?
In this case, no.
Oh, bummer. Okay, let's see here.
It's not a bad thing. Okay, that's enough. In this intense situation, with a lot of strain on your CPUs, you feel a sudden glitch in your system, and there's like a fragment of a memory file that loads up. And for a moment, you can remember a very similar situation, getting Blister's butt out of the fire on a mission. But like you still have the memory of what you just witnessed, like what you just experienced, but the memory file itself seems to fade away.
Fair enough.
But for a moment there, you remembered something from your past.
Okay.
And yeah, you're able to hit the warp button, you go to FTL, and you get away from the planet. So you succeeded.
Y'all, did we do it? Did we do it?
You did it.
I don't know. I don't want to breathe.
Not gonna lie.
I want to check
Raven said-
scanners. Are we being pursued?
Oh, most definitely.
Raven said blister, and I was like, who the fuck is that?
I know, it took me a hot second too.
Oh,
You said blister, and it took. I
right.
had that like hiccup. I'm like, that right. Mm-hmm.
Past Sparky. Awesome.
Yep.
How's little Liam doing? How's he faring?
So he just sort of like not exactly collapses, but just like flops on the floor in the corridor, and just like catches his breath. Just the sort of like, you know, when you've been super stressed and you've been dealing with anxiety and things for like a really long time, and suddenly you don't have that anymore, and you just feel exhausted. So he just sort of flops down and just like, ow, fuck. Probably exactly like that, because I just hit my head on the wall.
Oh no! Be careful.
I didn't mean to lean back that hard. Misjudged where the wall was. Anyways, I was just like,
oh, sorry.
Am I safe now?
Annie sits next to him, and she like leans against the wall and slides down until she's sitting on her butt. And she reaches up and she kind of pulls the wig and the wig cap off, so that her pink hair is visible again. And it pulls on some of the pins that she had used to secure everything in. And she goes, ouch. And it sounds exactly the way Liam's would have. But she just slides to the ground next to him and she like side eyes him, very like cautiously. And she's like, well, I don't know, kid, but you're better off than you were. We might make it out of this yet.
All right, that's good. Who are all of these people? Last I checked, or last I discovered, you were running with cartel people. And you just broke me out of a cartel place, so I'm guessing they either aren't cartel or they're not anymore.
I mean, yeah, I guess at some point they were cartel too.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I suddenly feel like I need a nap. Is there a bed I could use?
Just instinctively, Annie kind of reaches over and she reaches up and just kind of like pats his head and like she plays with his curls a little bit. And she's like, yeah, you can come with me. You can use my room.
He just like sort of puts an arm around your shoulder, like in the action of having you support him, but he's not actually putting any of his weight on you. And follows you to your room. As soon as you're like out of earshot, you like that's done. Like you've been able to take care of Liam and you're out of the room. Daisy just also flops on the ground and goes, "Fuck!"
And Seattle immediately points at Daisy and is like, "Get to the bridge, help the captain with us getting away. I'll be in the engines."
Yeah. Sparky's headed to the bridge as well. Sparky is not even remotely convinced that it's over yet.
Yeah. I was like, go, go, go.
Daisy
looks
takes
to
a second.
Seth and grabs Seth to drag him with him for extra hands.
Nice.
Okay.
He's
Daisy,
determined
takes...
to teach Seth something.
It's great. Daisy takes like a second to catch her breath after, yelling "fuck." It goes, "Great," and pulls herself up and like half stumbles, half starts running towards the bridge. Seth, it's a good thing you grabbed him because he's standing there very awkwardly, like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing right now. So he follows you, and then, sorry, what was that, Jay, about Sparky?
Sparky's headed to the bridge as well.
Okay. So, get to the bridge. You've got Seattle and Seth in the engine room, Sparky, Daisy, Android, and Lagu on the bridge. Excuse me, and Annie taking care of Liam in the crew quarters. You're in FTL, but Android has discovered that there are at least 3 fighters also in FTL behind you. So you're not quite out of the woods yet, but you do have a good lead on them. And I think that's a good spot to end the session for this week. That was so much fun.
Finish too, just right on point.
Holy shit, we did it, guys!
Oh my god.
I told you, if we pull this off, it's gonna be epic.
I have this sinking feeling that we are using our luck very quickly.
Yep. But also, if we didn't, we'd be dead.
Yep.
So.
I have enough to buy us another 3 crits next week if I need to.
If we need to.
Guess what happened? My phone, like the one I've been trying to like save up for to repair.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what started working?
No way.
Oh, that's
the camera started. I downloaded a new app that required like camera use. I said yes, and then it just returned on my camera, and both my cameras work again.
Oh, that's excellent.
The only thing that doesn't work is the internal microphone for the phone, so I just have to make my phone calls on speakerphone.
That's not bad at all. That's rad.
I know, right?
Like
and especially since the internal speaker is only a $30 part. So if I need to get it, eventually it's only gonna cost me like about.
And that's a
$50
pretty
to get
easy
fixed.
install, honestly, compared to other stuff.
And we've got Black
awesome.
Apple out here who do it real cheap.
Oh, cool. Very cool. Well, that's awesome. And I think three crits will get you by next week. If you even have to use all of those, we'll see. Depends on what you do. The EMP was definitely your saving grace this week.
I was just like, wait, we have enough crits. I'm making a bomb. I'm making a bomb that succeeds.
You finally did it.
Yeah. Well, that was
Seattle's never gonna let any of you live this down.
That was fantastic. I really enjoyed that. Thank you, everybody. We're gonna go around and talk about our favorite parts and where we can find all these wonderful people next, and anything else they want to share, and then we'll go on a raid. We're definitely doing the Lion, the Witch, and the Audacity of this thing. As the raid cry, I will pop that into chat momentarily. But let's start with we'll go opposite order. So, Lisa, what was your favorite part? Where can we find you online? And anything else that you'd like to share?
My favorite part was probably just watching the heist go off not exactly as planned, but it worked. Like, can't complain, I guess.
Not the worst thing we've ever done.
Yeah.
Nobody's dead yet.
Yeah. I also enjoyed trolling the fighter jets acting like a customer service bot.
That was pretty great.
That was such good trolling, though. I was just like, I wasn't sure if you were trolling at first, and I was like, no, this is trolling.
Yeah,
this is just outright trolling. Wow, that's the sort of humor that she has, and I love it.
But yeah, it was great.
Awesome. And anything else that you want to share, or where can we find you, or anything like that?
Not really.
That's okay. That's okay too. Then we'll toss it on over to. First I'm just gonna plug Riley again because she's awesome. Definitely go check out her Twitter, Arielle Knits. She does really cool knitting and crochet stuff, and just a cool person to follow in general. And she should be back next week to play Lagu again.
Lagu's gonna be so impressed by us.
Right?
Oh my god, we were actually competent.
Ish.
Nobody died.
That's true. Literally nobody, which is
I know.
pretty cool.
We did it entirely without killing people. That's why I wanted to use an EMP bomb and not an explosive bomb.
Sparky's
because we've
really
all
happy
been
about
trying really hard not to kill people.
That's awesome. On that note, what was your favorite part? I guess aside from that, and where can we find you online and all that good stuff?
Hi, I'm Alex, I'm a digital artist. You can find me around on Twitter. My personal is Agent Boss. My art Twitter is now over at Canned Chaos Art. where I'll be posting all my artwork and stuff over the course of time. Yeah. God, there were so many cool parts. Holy shit, there was so many cool Okay, the fact that we stopped, broke down, and quite literally had that moment in a show or a movie where you do the backup to watching the plan happen as you plan it outside of the plan. But it wasn't really, it was sort of meta because we were just all calculating if we could do this. But that's exactly what that scene is. It's a meta scene.
It's the heist scene where they're in the middle of stealing it, and then they pan
We
back
did
to where they're
that.
explaining how they're going to do the plan.
We did that.
That was cool.
Holy fucking shit, we did that.
Thank you for letting us do that.
Thank you
Of
for letting
course.
us do that. That's like one of the coolest scenes I think I've ever been in. Like this whole thing, and like having Captain on standby and ready to go, and like know we have our backup if we need it, but she's also keeping people off the other end, and like having no contact, because I was just like, do they realize? Well, I'm gonna just play my character. He trusts them to realize what an EMP bomb's about to do.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. Very cool.
Oh.
All right, and then oh, you already said where we can find you. Was there anything else that you wanted to share?
Where am I next? I am back here on Tuesday for not Badlands, Calamity. I keep wanting to call it Badlands because I associate everything like deserty and a post-apocalyptic with Tyrell, which is in the Alberta Badlands.
Oh, okay, that's funny.
Which is also where all the dinosaur bones are.
I think
Oh,
you
cool.
meant like Badlands as in the game we were in. I was like, it's just because
Yeah.
you missed
So
us.
did I, actually,
mean,
yeah.
I
come on.
also really miss that game because holy shit, those characters. That was like my first long form game I've been in since I was a
cool.
teenager, and holy fuck, I had so much fun with y'all, and that's honestly what kept me coming back.
Aw, yeah, I loved running that campaign. It was a good one. I'll have to bring that story and world back at some point. Then we'll toss it on back over to Vanessa. What was your favorite part? Where can we find you? And anything else you'd like to share?
My favorite parts kind of line up with everybody else's. The part with Android was amazing. I love seeing her get sassy every single time and just like giving people the slip. It's really fun to watch. I'm also excited that finally, after all of these years, we finally got Liam back. I've been waiting for that, and it wasn't as like emotionally involved as I thought it would be, obviously because they were still running for their lives, but I guarantee you the moment Annie remembers who this kid is, it's gonna be a hard one. It's gonna be a hard session to do because I'm gonna be really upset.
Also, Seattle's dad senses are tingling. There is a child in need of a father. There's a child in need of a father.
You know, believe it or not, they do have actual parents, right?
No. Sorry, Seattle's your dad now.
The Belmonts do
Override.
have parents.
Override. We are your parents now. You have
Oh my goodness.
tiny killer mom and gay dad.
I'm definitely gonna draw Liam for you guys because I feel like we need a little bit of Liam.
Yes.
And yeah, just the whole getting out of there. To be honest with you, Raven, I think you let us off way too easy with that one.
If it wasn't for the EMP, it would have been a very different session.
Oh yeah, for sure. But other than that, there won't be any Exodus next week. Usually I say you'll find me next week for Exodus. But we're going to be taking a break next week. So the next you'll see me is here again next Saturday for more Animus. And you can also find me online. My art Twitter is @PepperoDraws, and that's Peppero like the candy. And you can also check out my work on my Ko-fi page, which is ko-fi.com/PepperoPrincess. So if you want to take a look at my stuff, and maybe get some stuff drawn for you for your characters.
Art is amazing. You should get stuff done, especially portraits. Like, holy hell, hecking hell, Vanessa is good at portraiture stuff.
Thank you. But yeah, that's where you can find me.
Awesome. And last but not least, Jay, what was your favorite part? Where can we find you, and anything else you'd like to share?
Oh God. I think my favorite part was just the whole thing, like watching. I know I say this on a lot of them, but just getting to see the whole of it. Watching like how Annie was dealing with everything with Liam, how Kat was dealing with everything. I really want to see Android in more like big scenes. Like I want to get Android in on a heist so that she can be like, this is a fucking.
I just want to see me stab someone again.
Well, no, I mostly want to see it's like see what you'll do in the middle of this. Like,
I want to watch Android troll more people because honestly, that's what she does.
She does,
trolls
and
people.
she does it real well. You trolled someone into being your best friend.
Yeah.
And now he is your best friend.
Yeah.
Who
So
installed the internet troll mod on this Android?
Oh, it comes pre-installed. Yeah.
It's
so I'd love to see that.
it's bloatware.
Yeah.
I can't uninstall it. Sorry.
But I love the whole thing, and I will say I'm really happy because I was trying to find the sheet. I couldn't find where I wrote down what I bought like last season on that space station, but I know it was like noisemakers, smoke grenades, and something else. So I was like, oh my goodness, I can finally use them. So I'm glad that worked because otherwise, but I'm really glad we did it. So that was my favorite part. Where you can find me next is tomorrow, actually, on my channel at some time in the afternoon. I don't know yet. Probably like 12 or 1 Mountain Time. That's over on Alien Jays. The Twitch and the Twitter is both Alien Jays. So, yeah.
Awesome. My favorite part, it's hard to pick a favorite part. I am really glad that the EMP thing worked out. Because I had already kind of planned on how the doors were going to work because of what I had planned for Daisy for getting into the security room and helping you. So I already knew how those were going to work, and he said the EMP and was like, oh, they're going to be stuck in there like just permanently. So yeah, that saved you a lot of combat rolls. Put it that way.
Worked to our advantage accidentally.
Yeah. I was like, crap, well, Daisy's not going to be able to get into the security room, but you're kind of not going to need to get into the security room so much. So yeah, well done, and I'm sure that you going in there and them not being able to get out of the buildings to capture you will have no negative repercussions whatsoever in the universe. It'll be fine.
Just wondering when the cartel realizes it's just no point in going after us because we're that bundle of chaotic energy that's just too much to deal with. They need to aim us at the corporations.
Right.
We're the group of people that shouldn't be getting away with the stuff that we're getting away with, but it's just absolute sheer fuckery that has
Here's
allowed
a protagonist.
Yep. You have plot armor and a whole bunch of luck.
Yeah, our writers have been on strike since day one, so.
But no, I'm mostly just teasing with the ominous no negative repercussions. I really enjoyed the EMP thing, but I also really enjoyed it being able to give you the tiniest little hint of hey, maybe your memories aren't completely gone.
When you were like, can you roll empathy? I was like, what the fuck for? What could possibly... I'm not going to empathize with the guns, am I?
I have no dots in empathy, and I have a 2 for my presence.
You just suddenly feel bad for the cartel members, like, oh.
No, I don't know what this is
I was just like,
damn.
I feel like I've done this before. What the fuck?
I'm so sad I electrocuted those people.
So yeah, I really enjoyed that part, and then just getting to mess with Vanessa. I love you.
I definitely wasn't expecting to have Liam like jump on my back and punch me in the head. But...
Liam screaming while leaping from the ceiling is such a fucking mood, though.
Can you kind of see the Belmont energy that's happening here?
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Let's look at it this way.
I wonder if you're the sort of people who would punch Dracula in the face. You know, a Belmont.
If let's look at it this way. If we have someone that's screaming at us, it's probably not Rip.
It's true. True.
Just putting that out there.
So yeah, all of that was really great, and I loved the emotional moments that happened throughout the chaos of the escape plan. It was all great. Where you can find me next, what's today? Saturday. So Tuesday at 6 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time for Hunters of Calamity 2. I'll be GMing that game. And then no Exodus on Wednesday. But I'll be back on Friday for Neon Devils, and then producing School Days after that. And then, of course, next Saturday we'll have another Animus. I may be doing some video game streams in those gaps there, here and there. If I do, I will post information about it on Twitter, which is right below my face. And then, yeah, other stuff to share. Definitely check out Patreon. There's new art and really cool stuff going up on there. And you can also download the soundtrack for Animus Absentis on Patreon. It is the content supporter tier. That's the second tier up. It gets
The
access
music
to that
is
stuff.
so fucking spooky, guys.
It's a pretty good soundtrack. I really like it. You can download that and a couple other shows too. The Hunters of Calamity soundtrack is on there, as well as Water from last season, which had a really awesome soundtrack.
Get the Water soundtrack. It's great for putting you to sleep. It's also great for making you shit yourself.
Yeah.
So if you're into that,
I don't want to combine those two things though. Like,
That's what adult underwear is for.
it's just efficient.
but I just got done changing diapers, Alex.
Efficient? Really?
Oh,
Really efficient?
that's not at all. I was going. Come on.
Anyways, a lot of really cool stuff on Patreon. It helps me out a ton with keeping things running, and yeah, it's just awesome. Aside from that, there are sponsors to Thing, Grinding Coffee Company, and Fundamental RPG, of course. Definitely check those out. The information is there in chat for those. And like I said, we're going to go on a raid. There's our raid cry. And we're going to go say hello to... just making sure that it's still running. Yes, it is. We're going to go say hi to Polished Cryptid, who's currently doing some tabletop. Make sure I spell this right. There we go. So we're going to go raid Polish. Definitely give her a follow if you're not doing so already. Toss the raid cry in the chat and say hello. And then I will see you all on Tuesday, if not sooner. Bye, everybody.